Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr., the greatest quarterback of all time. He's won 7 Super Bowls, set almost every imaginable passing record, and has made probably over $1 million, or something like that. But what I find truly interesting about Tom's story is that he isn't that special of an athlete. It's not like he can throw the ball further than anyone else, and he's probably the slowest player on every team he's ever been on. Giannis Antetokounmpo is superhuman. JJ Watt looks like if a muscle came to life and started talking. But on the surface, Tom just kind of looks like a guy. In fact, he's so unassuming as an athlete that almost 200 people were picked ahead of him the year he was drafted. And he played longer than every single one of them. In many ways, he got better as he got older. His face changed shape like 6 times. Everything he's doing defies all logic. So what the hell is his secret? Is he a cyborg? A time traveler? Was he an experiment created in some kind of football laboratory? Or is all of his success attributed to his famously specific diet? This dude hasn't had sugar in like 14 years. No wonder he's able to pull off the impossible. I had a toaster strudel for breakfast and now my tummy hurts. But why am I making this video? Well, because a few days ago on February 1st, Tom Brady finally retired from the NFL, which means someone has to take his place. And that's where I come in. Slightly above average height? Check. Total underdog story? Check. Lives within reasonable driving distance of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers practice facility? Check. But if I'm gonna become the new starting quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I'll need to eat like Tom. I'll need to train like Tom. At least for about a month. That should do it. So starting on February 14th, the day after the Super Bowl, because I'm probably gonna eat a lot of crap that night, I will begin my transformation. But first, I have to prepare. Like a lot of mega popular athletes do, Sweet Thomas has very much turned his identity into a brand. It's called the TB12 method. He has 2 books about it. He has his own recipes, his own workout gear and supplements and hats and podcasts and training centers and Vital Fit tart cherry. Congrats, Tom. While this chapter is closing, the best is yet to come. You know, I hate to say it, but I don't think that's true. Some people just peak early in life. There's nothing wrong with that. You think anyone's gonna give a shit about me in 20 years? Hell no. I gotta savor this while I can. So this says get started, but then there's so much shit here that I don't even know where to begin. Oh wait, yeah I do. I'm getting the big Tom. Tom Brady drinks 200 to 300 ounces of water on active days. Jesus Christ. I feel like I'm gonna have to get a second bladder surgically inserted into my body if I drink this much water. Oh, here we go. They have starter packs. Here's what people are saying. But it's not customer testimony, it's just their employees. No biases here. Guys, people have been raving about my YouTube videos. Don't believe me? Just ask my mom. You know, I am actually wondering what Brian thinks.
Hey everyone, hey. Brian Hart here, body coach down in Tampa Bay. By far my favorite product that TB12 has is the TB12 electrolytes. Helps me stay hydrated, gives me energy, prevents muscle cramping, tastes great.
Does it? I saw that eye roll. Believe me, this stuff is awesome.
TB12 plant-based protein,
right.
TB12 omega. Okay. One of the products that I really have loved recently is the TB12 sleep. And I don't really struggle to sleep or go to sleep.
This stuff is amazing. I don't need it, and I've never actually taken it before, but Tom said I had to throw in a 4th thing, and so I just picked one randomly.
I'll wake up every morning feeling awesome after I take that TB12 sleep.
Yeah, I can tell. You're like a ball of energy.
Feel free to go to tb12sports.com.
What a coincidence. That's a website I was already on. Oh, I guess I should probably just get the Tom pack. Sorry, Brian. In his honor, I will at least get his favorite flavor of electrolytes, and I will think about you every time I drink them. Okay. So it's $200, and that's just the first page. Gonna be another $216 just for the equipment. That at least seems more reasonable. What was the other one? Vitamins and protein powder. And I'm supposed to buy that every month? Well, it's a good thing I'm only doing this for one. Oh, you have to subscribe to it? But what if I don't want to? Why is it $600? I got the Tom pack. The starter home gym pack should be $425, and it is $600. What the fuck, Tom? I mean, yeah, I have the water bottle in here too, but that's only $65. Oh, I see. Once you go to check out, they sneakily raise the price of the exercise equipment by $111. That's cool. No, I get it. I would do the same thing if I was the worst. You know what though? I have to suck it up. I'm trying to change my life here. I want to live to be 300 years old, and you can't put a price on that. So I guess I'm already out $600, and I haven't even bought any food yet. It's funny, I've always heard the main criticism of the TB12 brand is that it's overly expensive and inaccessible to the average person, but I actually think we're off to a great start. Oh my God, I still have to buy the book. I almost forgot. They're sold out on the website, so I have to settle for an acceptable used copy from Amazon. Would I like to spend half of that on a new copy? Of course I would. But then I won't get it for a month, and I'm trying to start this diet in a few days. What are you gonna do? Before I forget, I should also go ahead and cancel my subscriptions while I'm here. Luckily, they've made it as difficult as possible by making you do one at a time. Hello. My first impression when I saw this in front of my door was that this box is way bigger than I thought it would be. And then I remembered I bought the Big Tom. So I'm picturing that that's pretty much taking up most of the space. It's just like a giant fat water bottle, and then everything else is just pushed into the corner. Forgot my box cutter. I'll be right back. Best thing about the moon pod is how easy it is to get up. Sorry about that. There's the Big Tom. There it is. Wow, these are fancy. Glass jars. Everything's kind of dusty, which is fun. Oh. Because this popped open and there's very expensive protein dust all over this box. And I got my electrolyte, my vibrating pliability sphere. So that's all the stuff that I put in my body. Now for what I put my body on top of. To be honest, I kind of blindly just bought the starter kit. I didn't really look at what was in it. I just assumed, you know, this is good for Tom, it's good for me. But I did end up doubling up on water bottles, and I don't know what anything else is. Don't know why they gave me a little bag, when clearly that's not big enough to put all this stuff in. I got a vibrating pliability sphere and also a vibrating pliability roller. Lots of different shapes in which I can vibrate. This is just like a phone stand that they threw in here. Don't know what I was expecting. It's gonna be a journey figuring out what to do with all this crap. So we got some pills to pop here. Thanks, Tom, for that. You've got sleep, which is pretty self-explanatory. I'll try this once, but I'm probably not gonna take this every night because I don't like melatonin. It makes me feel weird and gives me really crazy dreams, and I don't want that. But then you've got the other two. This one is like brain pills, daily support for mind-body performance, and then the other one is for like joint support. But this is one I'm really intrigued by. For like a year, I used to take something called Alpha Brain, and I'm pretty sure it was just a placebo, but I would take it every time I filmed or wrote anything, and I felt like it helped, like I could think more clearly, but again, it might have just been I told myself that I would be more focused, and then I was more focused, so who's to say? But this shit was personally engineered by the greatest quarterback of all time, and if anyone knows something about brain performance, it's Tom Brady. So let's see what happens. I don't know, I didn't really, whoa! What's going on? I have so many thoughts. I think I'm finally using 100% of my brain, just like Bradley Cooper in that Limitless movie. Oh my God, the ideas. I can't stop them. Hey, sorry to bother you. I know you're at work right now, but I had to call you. I just thought of a new invention. Silent ice. It's just like regular ice, but it doesn't make any noise. I did it. I finally finished my book. Wow, what a productive day. I even managed to move my couch into the middle of the room like I've been meaning to. Well, I guess I'll go ahead and hit the hay. Never mind, it has been 4 minutes. I don't really know what to say about the supplements because I've taken them a bunch now and I kind of feel the same, but I've also been taking multivitamins every day for several years and those don't make me feel any different. So does that mean I should stop taking them? It's hard to judge something that is supposed to have this like silent effect on your body. So they may not actually do anything, but at least they're very expensive. The best thing about them though is that they don't taste like anything because you're also supposed to drink these electrolytes every day, multiple times a day. First thing you do when you wake up. I excitedly tried the lemon one first, and let me just tell you, it is one of the grossest things I've ever tasted in my life.
Tastes great.
It doesn't taste so much like lemonade as it does lemon pledge. I did actually just notice today that they also sent me the same thing but in packet form. So I'm pretty sure there's like a powder instead of something that's already a liquid. Maybe that'll make it taste better. Oh, thank God. Okay, this is way better. This is a huge relief because drinking electrolytes is very much part of Tom's daily routine, and I physically was not able to drink the other one. It was so gross. And it's not like, oh, it doesn't taste like Gatorade. This isn't very good. I don't need it to taste like Gatorade. I don't need it to taste sweet. Honestly, I don't need it to taste like anything. Good thing they also have one called unflavored. This has no flavor. It's just gonna go in my water. I'm not even gonna notice it's there. It's just gonna taste like nothing, right? No, this shit just tastes like salt. I'm just relieved that a lot of the reviews say the same thing and I'm not the only one going crazy here. This person said it tasted like watered down cough syrup. That's a good description. I love Tom, but I threw away the electrolytes. Terrible taste. The electrolytes did not agree with me, and I agree with you. I think when I run out of these packets, I'll just buy a different brand of electrolytes and hope they don't also taste like shit. As previously discussed, Tom Brady loves water. You think this is a lot? This jug that weighs almost 5 pounds when full? Well, he drinks 5 of these every day. My goal for this has been to at least drink 3 of these a day, because that's still on the low end of the spectrum. And 3 a day is doable, but it's also a lot. There are a few things that I don't love about the water bottle. For one, it takes about 90 seconds for me to fill it up all the way because it's so goddamn big. It's also so heavy and bulky that you need to use 2 hands to drink out of it, and it makes you look like a baby drinking out of a sippy cup. It's too wide to fit in a cup holder, so it kind of just jostles around in my car as I drive. And unless it's more than halfway full, I can't drink out of it while I drive without it hitting the ceiling. But do you think I'm gonna ever drive somewhere without having a little beverage in my car? Hell no. But all of that pales in comparison to the worst thing about drinking this much water, which is that I now pee roughly 600 times per day. Sometimes I'll just drink and pee at the same time because I know I'm gonna have to do it in 5 minutes anyway. It really makes me mad that Amanda and I thought it would be funny to have the Pledge of Allegiance in our guest bathroom, but now the joke's on me because I have to recite it every time I go in there. I did the math and I don't think I've gone an entire 2-hour period without having to go to the bathroom. And that made me realize that Tom Brady pees his pants. It's not like they have a bathroom on the sideline. It's not like you can call a timeout to do a potty break. This legend, this sports hero, has been running around on the field with piss in his uniform. Gross! I looked up to you, man. Anyway, sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but someone had to say something. This book's not too crazy. A lot of the stuff I had heard before, like how he was born on a spaceship and came out the womb holding a football. But the thing that's weird about this is, like, this is supposed to be the Tom Brady Bible. But there are things I've read online about him that contradict some of the stuff I've read in here. Like, apparently he doesn't eat nightshades, peppers, tomatoes, but then there's recipes in here that include those things. He's famously on a plant-based diet, but almost all of the recipes have meat in them. So maybe this book is not as all-encompassing as I hope. It might be because they didn't want to include every restriction here so as to not scare people off. Or maybe it's that some of the things Tom Brady believes in aren't actually backed up by science, so they're like, hey, just because Tom does that doesn't mean you have to too. You know, I've read a bunch of books like this before. A bunch. I've read like 2 books like this before. And the funny thing is, I feel like I always agree with almost everything they say. I just forget to actually do it. We all have one body and one life, and you should make it a priority to treat that body and life as respectfully as possible. And it's like, of course, what a beautiful mindset. Of course, I'm going to only eat the healthiest foods I can so my body can function as healthily and as prosperously as possible. And oh my God, is it 1 a.m. already? I'm gonna have a snack. Part of the reason I wanted to make this video is just to force myself to do it. I'm so bad at self-discipline, but I'm really good at making excuses. Like, I've had a long day today. I deserve this. I deserve to go to Twisty Treat. Twisty Treat is a restaurant shaped like ice cream, because they sell ice cream. Obviously, life would be really fucking boring if you never ate anything fun, but there has to be a balance to it, one that I rarely achieve. But one thing I've realized as an adult is that if I don't hold myself accountable, no one else will, because it's not their responsibility, it's mine. I have to do it, so I will do it. So let's start off with what you're not allowed to eat. You're not allowed to have dairy, or bread, or fast food, or soda, or things with added sugar, or overly processed foods that have a bunch of preservatives. Let me tell you the betrayal I felt when I found out these snap peas aren't actually healthy at all. They're not even real peas, they're just cleverly engineered to look like them. Everything is always too good to be true. Whatever, I'm not mad. You can have alcohol, but in extreme moderation, and I just went ahead and didn't have any because beer makes me want pizza. You can only have a little bit of caffeine, which thankfully wasn't much of a change for me. Something happened a couple years ago, and ever since then I've had an extremely low tolerance to caffeine, even though I drink coffee every single day. But I usually don't even finish one cup because I know if I drink it all, I'm gonna get all jittery and probably end up with a headache. You know what my Starbucks order is? I get a venti cold brew and then slowly drink it over the course of 4 days. That's not a joke, that's just my life. As far as what you are supposed to eat, it's pretty much a lot of vegetables all the time. Mostly just vegetables, actually. And you have to buy organic produce, preferably sourced locally, otherwise Tom will come to your house and kill you. According to the book, it's because non-organic food tends to have less nutrients in it, and also when food has to travel really far, it loses nutrients. I don't know how true that is, but man, was it depressing to have to ignore all the regular fruit that was on sale so I could get the special version of it. So I'll get to the meals themselves in a little bit, but there were 2 things that I've eaten every single day. Number 1, I have a smoothie with spinach and blueberries and most of a banana and almond butter and Tom powder and Greek yogurt and almond milk. These I don't mind at all. They taste really good and they fill me up for a few hours. I actually used to make smoothies like this all the time until one day our blender broke, and instead of buying a new one, I was just like, all right, well, guess I'm not doing that anymore. The hardest thing about these smoothies is that you always run out of different ingredients at different times. And it's like, am I really gonna go to the store right now just to get blueberries? For the sake of this video, yes. Yes, I am. The other thing I get to eat every single day is homemade guacamole. This is, for some reason, an absolute staple of the TB12 diet. Well, it's a good thing finding perfectly ripe avocados every single day isn't like hard to do or anything. Otherwise, this would be really annoying. For me, this was the first major example of this diet being 100 times more doable if you have someone else go buy ingredients and prepare food for you. Tom's not going to the grocery store. He throws a few footballs around and then yells, "Feed me," and an army of TB12 assistants come to shovel kale into his mouth. Now, if you're like me, you might be thinking, guacamole every day? That sounds awesome. But remember, you can't eat them with chips. That would be too easy. So usually I just add it to whatever meal I'm eating, or I'll dip celery or carrots into it and scarf it down that way. As far as grocery trips go, I've been doing them a lot. Basically every 2 to 4 days. I probably could have consolidated some of these trips, but I get overwhelmed when my grocery list is way too long, so I would split it up into smaller trips and only get like 1 or 2 meals at a time. And I will say, the meals in this book are all pretty good. This salad is stupidly easy to make, so that's been a go-to for me. The cauliflower you make with this salmon is fucking great, so I don't even mind the fact that you have to eat like 12 pounds of it every time. And the chicken and lentils recipe is really good too, although the Dijon mustard flavor can be a little bit much when you're having leftovers, and at that point, it has soaked into every single ingredient. I even got to make my own hummus. That was pretty fun. So really, I have almost nothing but good things to say about all of these recipes, except there is the one. I tried making one of Tom's famous fish taco bowls, and everything went wrong. The cod completely fell apart as I was trying to cook it, so it was basically ground fish. The sauce was way too runny and just tasted like sesame seeds. The beans were all wet. The worst part is that it's been about 14 hours and the whole house smells like fish. Still. To make my life a little bit easier, I have been ordering the same meal prep service that I've used for a while now. Only where before I was mostly doing it out of convenience, now I have to make sure I'm pretty much only eating chicken and vegetables or fish and vegetables. This takes care of 5 lunches a week, so I only have to worry about breakfast and dinner and then what I'm gonna eat on the weekends. I would say my biggest takeaway so far is that what you do eat is a lot more important than what you don't eat. I've had a couple of 2 or 3 day stretches in in here where I don't really have the energy to cook, so then I don't eat enough, so then I don't have any energy, so then I don't cook any food. It's not enough to just not eat sugar. Just because I'm not eating McDonald's doesn't mean I'm doing a good job or being healthy. I need to have like a checklist of things that I do eat every single day. Otherwise, it's inevitable that I end up going crazy one night and eating half a block of cheese at 1 a.m. Am I saying that because that's what I did last night? Yes. But I'm not gonna beat myself up over it. I'm just gonna go outside and spike some footballs and get right back on track. So I'm about 2 weeks into eating like Tom Brady, and I can't say a lot has changed. I did notice that I've started floating. I don't really know how I'm doing it. I just know that whenever I go to walk somewhere, I am now levitating off the ground. If I had to guess, I would assume that my body has simply transcended past the need for gravity, which is cool. I don't think I used to be able to do that. At least not that I remember. I love how this box they gave me is just filled to the brim with crap, and yet there's no instruction manual of any kind. I don't know what any of this stuff does. I mean, I know what this bag does. I've used a bag before. So I was looking at some of the exercises in the book, and I kept getting confused on like, okay, I see that you're supposed to pull on the rope, but what is the rope attached to? And the photos don't help because it sort of just fades off into the void. But I realized one of the things in here was this like door strap. So I should be able to strap this to my door and then connect things to it, hopefully without breaking the door in the process. The issue with this for me though is most of the doors in my house, there's not a lot of room in front of them to maneuver and do things. So I'm gonna have to be doing most of my workouts in my laundry room. I'm realizing maybe I didn't put the camera in the right spot for this because I did the whole thing and I don't think you could see any of it. All right, looks pretty good, I think. Still worried this is somehow gonna break my door? If it does, I'll just ask Tom to buy me a new one. I now have something else I'm deathly afraid of, which is that while I'm doing one of these exercises, the back will snap, propel forward into the back of my head, and I will immediately die. The good news is if that does happen, I will at least get it on camera. I should probably clue you in on what's going on here. So something that seems to be unique to Tom's workout is his emphasis on pliability. And I'll let him explain it for me.
Pliability is at the core of the TB12 lifestyle. Use a TB12 vibrating pliability roller or sphere to target the muscle groups you're using.
So basically before and after every workout, I gotta roll this thing all over my muscles.
There are two parts to pliability. Active muscle work, active muscle work, active muscle work.
This is how you play football. Finally, with just a few days left, having transformed into the best shape of my adult life, which unfortunately does not mean anything, it's time to hit the field. Hi, my name's Drew Gooden. I'm over 4 feet tall, and this is my audition for the role of quarterback. Dear Roger Goodell, President of Football, I am politely demanding that you have me signed to one or all NFL teams as soon as possible. Obviously, my talent and positional versatility should speak for themselves, but I also have other attributes I can bring to the table that will make me instantly marketable as the new face of the league. Number one, I'm charitable. When this crazed fan came up to me and demanded my attention, I didn't throw 100 footballs at her face until she went away, even though I wanted to. I took the time to take multiple photos with her, a memory I'm sure she'll treasure forever. Reason number two, I'm already friends with several Hall of Fame athletes like Rob Gronkowski, Jeff Gordon, and Air Bud from the movie Air Bud. I believe these connections will help me thrive in the NFL. After all, it's a relationship game, not a football game. Reason number three, I think I could do a touchdown dance. And the final and most important reason why I should be immediately given a lifetime contract is that I am desperate for money. Over the past month, I have spent all of my life savings trying to do the Tom Brady diet, and now my house is being foreclosed. Not to be nosy or anything, but I saw how much you're giving some of these other guys, and I decided, can I have some?
I'll do any position. I'll even be punter. Please let me play.
Anyway, I hope you consider me for the role of quarterback. Have a wonderful day.
What the fuck?
You're telling me I lost 5 pounds and felt great for a month and I have nothing to show for it because I can't even play professional football?
I'll get you, Tom.
Ooh, I just know for a fact that I am the person most negatively affected by this. Okay, so maybe I am the person second most negatively affected by this. So I'm gonna break down my final thoughts on this by answering two questions. Number one, is the TB12 diet good? Yeah. With the exception of the one disaster, all the meals were tasty and they got easier to prepare the more I made them. And a lot of the restrictions are easier to pull off than it seemed at first, as long as you don't think about what you're missing out on. Like, it's really daunting when you start off and you think, oh man, I can't have this or this or this. But then you get going and you're just focusing on the food that you are making and you realize it's been 2 weeks since you thought about pizza. I'm proud to say I only cracked twice. There was the cheese incident, and I also went to Taco Bell one day because I was kind of going through it. But I think it's good to at least have one meal every once in a while that you can look forward to. Otherwise, you're gonna lose motivation pretty fast. In hindsight, yeah, maybe I should have swung for something better than a 5-layer burrito, but at the time, it's all I could think about. Other than that, the meals were all just good enough to keep me from daydreaming about junk food. But the other question is, given the financial and time investment necessary to pull this diet off, how feasible is it? And that's a little bit trickier. It would be dumb of me to ignore the obvious advantage that I had while doing this, which is that I was able to put my job on hold for a while by turning the diet into my job. And even still, there were days where I'm like, fuck, it's 5 o'clock already? I don't want to cook. I just made food yesterday and now I gotta do it again? When will it end? And I tried to imagine what it would have been like to try to do this back when I had a 45-minute commute to my carpentry job, where I'd be lucky to get home before 6 o'clock and I'm tired and I'm sore and now I have to prepare this complicated ass meal. And whoops, our broccoli went bad. Should I go to Publix? No, I'm gonna go to Chipotle for the 3rd day in a row. You know what would be nice? If there were more convenient, healthy food options. The best I could find around me is a place called Fresh Kitchen, and it's pretty good, don't get me wrong, but the bowls are like $15. Also, I don't even know if that place is healthy. Did you know that restaurants aren't required to provide nutritional information unless they have over 20 locations? I didn't know that till I tried to look it up. And yeah, you can always drive through somewhere to get a fast food salad, but not only do I not want to eat salad every day, but a lot of the time, the salads have more calories than the regular food that they sell. Without a doubt, the best way to follow the TB12 diet is to have multiple fresh cooked meals every single day. And the easiest way to do that is to pay someone to cook them for you. But I'm not gonna do that, and you're not gonna do that, so who the fuck is gonna do that? Following this diet is possible, but it's expensive and it's time consuming, and you have to sacrifice a lot of convenience in order to make it work. And just like with all diets, you have to be patient. If you're hoping to lose weight, it could take 2 weeks before you even move the needle at all. So really, in the short term, there are almost no noticeable differences. Like, I remember my dad asking me after a couple weeks how I felt, and I thought about it, and I was like, just kind of normal, I think. For some reason, I guess I thought, I'm eating all these superfoods. I'm gonna feel amazing. These omega-3s are gonna be coursing through my veins. But I realized it's more so just an absence of feeling bad. It's been a week or so since I officially finished doing the diet for a month, and I've tried not to stray too far from it since then, but I've loosened up the restrictions. Like the other day, I had a milkshake, and it was fucking delicious. It was so good. I don't regret it at all. But I felt like garbage afterward. I was in a bad mood. I was groggy and irritable, and I went to bed really early for some reason. Same thing happened when we had pizza a few days later. It was the best pizza I've ever had in my life. At least it felt like it at the time, you know how it is. But it also made me feel like shit. I was so full, but I was also really grumpy. I kept getting annoyed at everything. It kind of ruined my night. And when I thought about it the next day, I was like, I think I'm good on pizza for a while. It also gave me acid reflux, which made me realize that I had not had that for the entire month that I was on the diet. So now that I think about it, maybe I'm onto something here. So food good, diet good, but everything outside of the meals, I could take it or leave it. The electrolytes are disgusting. The vitamins cost like $2 a pill. The water bottle's nice, but you're essentially paying an extra $40 just to have Tom Brady's name on it. And I love the guy, but not that much. The exercise equipment was a pretty good deal as far as I can tell. I'll let you know if all that shit just starts breaking one day. But ultimately, for a lifestyle change as drastic and as costly as this can be, I wouldn't recommend starting it off by wasting a couple $100 on a bunch of the less necessary crap. Just save that money for all the fish you're gonna have to eat. I know there's probably gonna be a lot of people who watch this video and think, whoa, you went on a diet for a month? That's crazy. What are you, like a regular person? And that's fine, but I'm proud of myself for doing this. It's not that I don't normally pay attention to what I eat and try to eat as healthy as possible, but I'm certainly not very consistent about it. So every day that I would get through the entirety of without making any bad dietary choices, it felt good laying in bed that night knowing I did a good job. And the more I stacked those days on top of each other, the better I felt overall. And I also realized when I'm only having one truly bad meal every week or two, it makes it taste so much better, because I've earned this. I'm gonna savor this shit. Again, I know these are very basic human principles that a lot of people are gonna hear and be like, yeah, Drew, it is hard. Everyone struggles with cravings and making good choices. It's not like extremely healthy people were just born with a different brain and they never think about how good ice cream would taste right now. They just have better self-discipline than I do. Anyway, this is a diet that I've wanted to try for several years, and maybe it's a good thing that Tom pretended to retire for just long enough to make me actually do it, because if he didn't, I probably wouldn't have. I'm still kind of pissed that he took my spot on the team, but I'll try not to hold a grudge. Well, I think I have finally run out of things to say. I've been working on this video for almost 2 months now, and I'm ready to be done. I know you guys are all probably pretty impressed right now by how well I'm able to hold my composure, despite the fact that I can very clearly see the dryer that held me captive for 2 weeks. But I'm a new man. I have no fears. I'm not afraid of looking at the dryer. I'm only closing this door because I think it's funny, not because I'm scared of the dryer. Hello stinkers, and welcome back to the first and only channel on YouTube. So last week I was talking about how much it really grinds my gear when Hollywood tries to masquerade a standalone movie as the sequel to an entirely unrelated movie where none of the cast is the same, there's absolutely zero crossover amongst the crew, and even the plot has nothing to do with the first one. It's a cheap marketing tactic that I find to be insulting to the viewer's intelligence, and I hate it. Today is part 2 to that video, and so naturally, we're gonna be reacting to some weird-ass life hacks. What? Oh, this is silly. Oh, that's strange, guys. Guys, this is just cringe. Just kidding, of course. As much as I'm sure many of you would rather watch Danny react to weird life hacks than listen to me complain about a movie that's 17 years old, I have to finish what I started and tell you guys the insane story of how this came to be. All right. And I guess I'll talk about this shit too. The first and most important thing to note with this movie is that it was never intended to be American Psycho 2. They wrote and filmed like 90% of it as a completely different movie. And everyone involved was on board with that. It was just gonna be a movie called The Girl Who Wouldn't Die. It was gonna be about Mila Kunis being this sexy serial killer. She was kind of entering her prime as an actress. This was gonna be like a different breakout role for her, you know, because she was on that 70s show, she was on Family Guy, but this was like sort of her first big role like this where it was a more serious character. So she was excited for it. William Shatner is in this, and he's actually pretty good. You can tell he was pretty passionate about the project. I think a lot of the people involved were, because it wasn't supposed to be this slap in the face to American Psycho until some executive at Lionsgate had this epiphany, I guess, this realization that was like, oh, wait a minute. You know what this movie kind of reminds me of? That Christian Bale movie from a couple years ago, American Nut Job, right? American Nut Job, that's it, with Christian Bale from the Batman, or he hasn't done that yet. Guys, I know what we could do. What if we change the intro scene and then we throw in some narration throughout the movie where we just mention the name Patrick Bateman, and then boom, now it's not just a dumb movie, it's a sequel. Right, guys? And everyone involved is like, wait, what? No, that's a terrible idea. We don't want that. But of course, the executives win. They have to re-edit shit. They film a couple extra scenes, and then boom, it's American Psycho 2, a movie no one asked for.
American Psycho continues.
So anyway, pretty much everyone involved in making it is ashamed of how it came out. The author of the original American Psycho book has denounced it as absolutely not canon to the story, and I hate it. But why? Maybe that's a question you have. Why is it so bad? To answer that question, I first need to explain why I love American Psycho so much.
So, what's the topic of discussion?
Most of the movie is just mocking a lifestyle that's so absurd. You have all these rich people who all look the same and dress the same and talk the same and care about the same pointless things. It's all about image. It's all about having the best watch and the best jacket. And this is no more perfectly illustrated than in this scene with the business cards.
It's very cool, Bateman, but that's nothing. Look at this. That is really nice.
Eggshell with Romalian type. What do you think?
Nice. Jesus. That is really super. How'd a nitwit like you get so tasteful?
I can't believe that Bryce prefers Van Patten's card to mine.
What's great about that scene too, and really the whole movie, is it's not just the subject matter, it's not just the dialogue or the writing, it's the directing is so good and the sound design is incredible in this movie.
Look at that subtle off-white coloring. The tasteful thickness of it. Oh my God. It even has a watermark.
So that's a little bit of American Psycho. Let's watch the beginning of American Psycho 2.
You know how some babysitters take you to the movies or rollerblading in the park? Mine brought me along on a date with a serial killer. As soon as I was free, I got really pissed, and it changed my life forever. I told no one of what had happened. I silently vowed to devote my life to stopping other psycho killers. I couldn't wait to grow up.
Yeah, so in the first 2 minutes of the movie, Mila Kunis as a 12-year-old kills Patrick Bateman. And she's like,
I couldn't wait to grow up.
I killed him. So if you're familiar with the first American Psycho, right away, I think you recognize the problem with this is that it takes a big poopy dump all over the first American Psycho. Because one of the things that's so good about the original movie is that the ending, and really the whole movie, is open to interpretation. It's not supposed to be a movie about this perfect badass serial killer who's so good and he perfectly plans everything out and executes it so he gets away with every crime because he's such a smooth criminal.
He was the most notorious serial killer of his time.
That's not the point. To me, the excitement of American Psycho comes from the possibility that any amount of what happened inside his head, but not to the extent that the things he did didn't happen, just that the way he interpreted them happened differently from his own perspective. So you could look at it as he is doing all these things, but he's romanticizing the vision of it in his head. He thinks he's this movie-like character. He's envisioning this perfect version of himself, but that's not who he is. That just speaks to his sociopathic and psychopathic tendencies, that his own interpretation of his reality is warped. So then, cut back to American Psycho 2. In the first 2 minutes of the movie, Patrick Bateman is dead. It's accepted worldwide that he's just the best serial killer ever.
And he became an instant celebrity, an overnight sensation.
It shits all over the first movie in the first 2 minutes.
I knew we should have gone to the movies.
Unlike American Psycho's Patrick Bateman, who Christian Bale portrays as having a lot of psychological intricacies, Mila Kunis is just like a cool, spunky girl. She's the type of girl who's gonna have one puff of a cigarette and then throw it on the ground. She's gonna catch a frisbee and then throw it behind her back like she's Dude Perfect. And she's quick with a sarcastic remark.
You can do better than that.
That's what your mama said.
Jesus Christ.
I have here the official application form for the teacher's assistant position for next year.
This is my golden ticket to Quantico.
Her master plan in this movie is if she just kills every other student who she thinks is has a good chance of getting the TA position, if she just kills all them, then she'll get to be the TA. So she kills this guy, she kills this guy.
A girl's gotta do what a girl's gotta do.
And she kills this girl who's sleeping with the teacher. But then the teacher finds the girl that he's been sleeping with dead, and so he quits because he's pretty sad. Then they announce there's not going to be a TA position. So she's like, damn it. And so she kills the teacher, and she kills the security guard who's just trying to do his job. But the whole movie, we're supposed to root for her. You know, she's murdering all these other innocent students, but we're supposed to root for her because she's sarcastic.
Yep, I just killed Brian.
To showcase how crazy she is, most of the second half of this movie is just Mila Kunis making jokes to the people she's killed.
Bobby, now I told you to get your beauty sleep.
What are you doing, Mila? You can't talk to him. He's dead. The ending to this movie is absolutely hilarious. Keep in mind, everything I'm about to show you is just like the last 3 minutes. So first, after this long-ass chase scene where the police are chasing her, and then she stops, and then they go to her, but she drives away, and they chase her some more. Her car explodes, and you're like, oh wow, she's dead. Well, I guess she shouldn't have killed all those people. But hold on, that was only the first twist. Cause you idiot, she's not actually dead. She's the world's greatest killer. You thought she was just gonna die? No, can't stop her.
It would be as if I've done nothing at all.
Oh, that's the closing shot of the movie. That's how the movie ends. If this was a parody of the first one, I'd be like, oh, that's brilliant satire. But it's not. Not only is it supposed to be taken seriously, we're supposed to root for her. It's supposed to be like a happy ending. Because the whole movie, she's just painted as like this quirky, sarcastic, weird girl who killed 8 people. But she's just kind of a goof. If you want some good cringe, watch this entire garbage-ass movie like I did, and then just indulge in this beautiful scene near the end where the shrink who writes a book about her because he thinks she's dead, listen to the way he talks about her brilliant mind.
I wish I had a chance to study her mind more. All in all, she killed 8 people. 8 people, which we know of. Rachel Newman is 1 in a billion.
1 in a billion.
She's in a league of her own.
Fuck off. This movie's so stupid.
1 in a billion.
That's what your mama said.
Real quick, I just want to do one last side-by-side comparison between the two movies, just to show you how many creative liberties they took with American Psycho 2.
And though I can hide my cold gaze, and you can shake my hand and feel flesh gripping yours, and maybe you can even sense our lifestyles are probably comparable, I simply am not there.
Ooh, I got goosebumps. That's some good shit. Let's see that closing shot again.
It would be as if I've done nothing at all.
Alright, let's try to cleanse our palate of that if we can by having some good old-fashioned laughs. And who better to provide them for us than Larry the Cable Guy?
Get her done!
First thing I love about this movie is the plot. Don't let this number 2 on the box fool you. It's not a sequel. This is very much just a remake of the first one, which is fine. I think we're all curious to see how Larry jingles all the way. But what's hilarious to me about this is the plot they've chosen to recycle isn't even feasible anymore in 2014. Jingle All the Way 2 is about a dad competing with another dad to buy the one Christmas present his daughter wants. Larry's the dad, the other guy is the new stepdad, played by the janitor from Zack and Cody, but the other dad is rich and he wants to win, so he buys all the Harrison talking bear dolls in the city, and then the first dad, Larry, can't get it. He can't get the toy because it's sold out from all the toy stores in his area. So he can't get it. Hey, but you know what? I'm willing to ignore that giant gaping plot hole, which is that they chose to ignore the fact that the internet exists in the year 2014. That's fine. It doesn't matter because this movie's a comedy. All that matters is if they deliver on the laughs, and you bet your ass they do. Big gag number 1. Larry tries to impress everyone, but use too much electricity. He fall backwards very far, have smoky face. Looks like that's 1 point for Janitor Dad. A few minutes later, Larry accidentally becomes Snowman. Oh, looks like Janitor Dad just bought the world's biggest tree. Girl is gonna love that. 3-zip. Don't worry though, guys. Larry's a thinker and he's got something else up his sleeve, or should I say, up his shovel. He grabs his friend, drives up north, I guess, to fill his van with snow. Then he's gonna drive it all back down south to his family so he can have a snowball fight with his daughter. Sounds like a great plan, right? To bring the snow back down south.
I wonder if it's gonna melt.
Big man hit by big splash. So this movie is a whole lot of fun. If I did have one criticism with it though, I guess I just wish first film movie and second film movie together, one low price. Both are awesome film movie, 100%. No, what I was gonna say is, what these movies should have done, they actually still could do this, but they need put DVD film movies together and Blu-ray DVD for this holiday season. Thank you. So anyway, that's Jingle All the Way 2. I can't tell you what happens at the end because I didn't finish it. Well, that's all I really have to say, so I think we can go ahead and close the DVD cover on Jingle All the Way 2. Are you happy now?
Yes. You've done me a great service, Drew.
Cool. Well, I gotta finish this video, so unless there's anything else you need help with, I'm gonna...
Actually, there is one more thing.
Oh yeah?
Can you help me make a website?
What do you need a website for?
For my photography.
Okay.
When you make a website, Drew.
Oh, yeah, no problem, dude. I mean, it only took a couple minutes.
This is you. We're friends.
Yeah, I think it does. But I'm done with this series now, so see you around, buddy. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my little series that was originally going to be one video, and then I said in the first one that it would be 3 videos, and then I decided it would be 2 videos because that's enough. Remember to comment a like down in the subscription box below. If you do so, I will be receiving a Harrison the Talking Bear doll for Christmas, and it will save my family from poverty. Thank you so much, and have a blessed Saturday night. I don't know if I'm posting this on Saturday, but whenever the next Saturday is, I hope it's good. I hope you have a good night. Have a good Saturday night. Live from New York, this video is over. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I walked into the room and I said, this cannot be happening right now. This is not the kind of thing that normally happens in this town. Is it this camera? I look at this one? Okay.
Why don't they just edit that part out?
Can you tell us your name? My name is John, and what is your connection to Crazy Legs? Who? The serial killer? I don't know who that is. You don't? No.
Is this for TV?
Sort of. Sorry, we must have got the wrong guy.
Yeah, I think you did. I work at Hobby Lobby.
Whoops. Well, could you tell us about that?
Oh, sure. So Hobby Lobby is sort of a knick-knack store.
So they're just gonna interview him anyway?
It's a good place to work because we have Sundays off, and I'm not like religious or anything, but I just don't like working on Sundays. No, it didn't hurt necessarily. I just wanted to go to a dermatologist to make sure it wasn't anything serious. But then I found out that if you bundle it with your home insurance, it's actually a little bit cheaper.
How long is this?
You know what's funny? I never understood the roadwork vine. People would quote it to me.
Is this the whole episode?
Do you guys want to hear about the time I got my tonsils out? Oh my God, I'm done. This is so stupid.
The year 2005. My throat ravaged with strep.
Hey guy, does anyone else feel like everything is designed to waste your time now, or am I being too cynical? Netflix documentaries are multiple episodes when they could have just been one 45-minute movie. Video games are too big. YouTube videos are too long. And please, for the love of God, stop asking me for my phone number every time I buy something from a store. I don't want to join your rewards program. I just want to give you money in exchange for a hat. Is that too much to ask? Sorry, I'll start with the Netflix thing. It seems like half of what I watch on Netflix is twice as long as it should be. They always make it just interesting enough to hold your attention, but it's still pretty clear they're trying to stretch it out as much as they can. And I know it's not just me who feels this way, because I'll look up reviews after I watch something and they almost all say the same thing. Watchable, but it drags on, could have been tied up in one episode. Please, Netflix, stop trying to make a series when there simply isn't the content for a series. They made a documentary a couple years ago about the Cecil Hotel, a place that has, I'll say it, an alarming number of deaths associated with it. It's the site of that extremely famous elevator video of Elisa Lam right before she was found dead. So there is plenty of mystery to uncover here, but by episode 2, they were just interviewing YouTubers. Not people connected with the story, just a bunch of random dudes who had Googled stuff about it before. They keep calling them web sleuths, which I guess is the most official way of saying that you just woke up one day and decided that you are a detective. Well, since no one else has been able to crack this case, I guess it's up to me. Generally, one of the big things that separates a professionally made documentary from just any average YouTube video is the access they have to the subject matter. Anyone can throw together a video where they summarize a Wikipedia page, but the most memorable and revealing documentaries are ones where we hear the perspective of the people involved. I watched one on Hulu recently called The Contestant, and not only is this an absolutely insane story, but you get to hear it from the point of view of the guy it happened to. You also get to hear from the villain of this story, who is such a monster, I can't believe he agreed to be a part of this. It's fascinating to see how proud he is of himself. Like, yeah, I tormented this guy and ruined his life, but you gotta admit, it made for a pretty cool show. But this is kind of the expectation when you turn on a documentary, that you're gonna hear the story from the people involved in the story. So when you put on an official Netflix docuseries on a streaming service that costs money to use, and most of it is just regular people offering their 2 cents on the same blurry video everyone else has watched, it kind of feels like a huge waste of time. It's so aggressively time wasting that I can't help but feel like that was the goal. Like, all right, we have everything we need to tell tell this story. We have other guests who are staying at the hotel. We have the manager of the hotel at the time. We have the maintenance worker who discovered her body. And in between interviewing them, we're also going to hear from someone whose only credential is having internet access.
I am a co-founder of the Elisa Lam discussion group on Facebook.
No, he wasn't there when it happened, but he has listened to a lot of podcasts about this, so we should probably hear him out. More recently, they made a docuseries about Ashley Madison, a website whose mere existence is fascinating, let alone all the fallout from their massive data leak that exposed a bunch of celebrities and politicians. There is absolutely a story worth telling here, and some of it was very interesting. But again, pointless interviews, backstory that's unnecessarily detailed. There's such a clear amount of filler put into these documentaries. It felt like half the runtime of the last 2 episodes was just trying to make us feel bad for this YouTube vlogging couple, which, I'm sorry, was never going to happen. In fact, I would say the best thing to come out of this was that it forced them to take a short break from exploiting their children's medical issues for AdSense revenue because they were too busy making 17 videos about how they were going to be on Netflix. Now, I would guess, like with a lot of their scripted content, the shadowy Netflix overlords are more responsible for a lot of these decisions than the talented people who work on these. I don't think almost every single documentary is 3 60-minute episodes because that's always how much story there is to tell. I think that's the mandated runtime that their bosses give to them. So even when they end up with footage that doesn't add anything to the show, they kind of just have to leave it in anyway to pad the length. There's a series they did a couple years ago with Kristen Bell called The Woman in the House Across the Street from the Girl in the Window. As you could probably guess from the title, this was a parody of like Lifetime murder mysteries. And it was a pretty funny show. I enjoyed it. But the whole time I was watching this, I just kept thinking, this should have been a movie. Why is this 8 episodes? Is it because they knew it would take me 4 days to finish instead of getting through it all in one night, therefore extending my subscription just long enough for them to make a little bit more money for me? You know, now that I hear that out loud, I'm pretty sure it's that. At this point, I just assume most of Netflix's decisions are made by an algorithm that prioritizes keeping people subscribed as long as possible and has figured out the best way to mathematically do that, even if it lessens the overall user experience. I think overall, Netflix is trying to do too many things at once. They want to make good shows, but they also want to make a lot of shows. And they want the shows to be longer than they need to be, but not in a way that would cost more money. And they need to move the plot along so no one gets bored, but not too quickly, otherwise the people who are looking down at their phones the entire time might get confused.
She'd heard from so many showrunners who are given notes by the streaming channels that they say, this isn't second screen enough. The viewer is expected to be on their phone, kind of half doing something else while your crime drama or whatever is playing. And you just can't make it as complicated as you have because they're not going to understand it because they're only going to be half concentrating on your show.
You know, when you hear stuff like that, it's actually not that surprising how often shows like Avatar would repeat the same information they just told you a few minutes ago. You're not supposed to pay attention when you watch Netflix. You're just supposed to put it on in the background so you have something to listen to while you make dinner. But like, if you're designing your content so that it's best consumed while half paying attention to it, why would I waste my time devoting all of my attention to it?
On the topic of things that are getting too long, what's going on with YouTube videos? Does anyone know? I'm old enough to remember when the 10-minute mark was something videos got stretched out to. Now it feels like half the videos I get recommended to me are 7-hour retrospectives on like the penguins of Madagascar. And I'm kind of conflicted on how I feel about this. Because on one hand, some of the best videos I've seen on this website are well past the hour mark. There are multiple Defunctland episodes that have better storytelling and production value than any Netflix documentary I've seen. When H-Bomber Guy or Jenny Nicholson release a 4-hour video, I know it's not just because they're trying to inflate the watch time so it gets boosted by the algorithm, it's because they spent months working on it and that's just how long the video ended up being. I'm a sucker for a comically in-depth review of a piece of media I've never thought about for more than 2 seconds. As long as the person making it is passionate about the subject and they put in the effort to make it entertaining, I'll watch just about anything. But I'm worried that some people are taking the wrong lessons from the success of some of these channels. They see that a very long video about a niche subject has the potential to get a lot of views, so it's almost as if they go into their video with the goal of making it as long as possible, even if there's not really that much to talk about. The current YouTube meta is to turn your video into a podcast. It's to pad the absolute shit out of the runtime because that's what the algorithm likes. And to be clear, I don't really blame these people for doing this, especially smaller channels who are just trying to make their videos stand out before they drown in the bottomless ocean of content. But it's just frustrating from the audience perspective that the system is rewarding unedited yapping. If I just vomit out every word that remotely pertains to the topic at hand with no thought into brevity, no consideration of the viewer's time, it's actually more likely that YouTube will push my video out to those people whose time I'm not valuing. The algorithm is teaching me that I shouldn't cut things out of my video if they feel superfluous or unnecessary or repetitive or like I'm just saying the same thing over and over again but in slightly different ways. They'd prefer if I stretched out every video as long as I could, but if that's all I'm doing, what message am I sending to the audience I'm trying to cultivate? That their time is just something for me to leverage so I can get more views? That's a little shitty. But the worst thing is when they start doing an ad read at the beginning of a video that, quite frankly, I'm not even sure I'm interested in yet. You haven't even hooked me, and you're already trying to sell me a water bottle that smells bad? Brother, if I wanted to be advertised to, I would fly to New York City and spin around in Times Square. I didn't click on this video to learn about the deodorant that changed your life. I clicked on this video to hear a grown man rant about the Fairly Odd Parents for 3 hours. So in that way, this is kind of my fault. I don't know what I was expecting. Based on everything I just described, you might be thinking, okay, so you want every video to be as concise as possible. You mean like Mr. Beast? No. That's not what I'm saying. That is on the entire other end of the spectrum. There are videos that go on so long that large portions of them become nothing more than background noise. And then there's the most hyperactive, fever dream editing, nonstop cacophony of colors and sounds meant to overstimulate the 8-year-old boys watching on their iPad. And then there's a lot of space in between. But I guess because of all that space, it's weird to me how many videos end up on either extreme. It'll either be like, I just trapped my friend in an elevator for 72 hours without any food or water, but none of that even mattered because they ran out of air and suffocated before they even got hungry. Or it'll be like, but before I can talk about season 2 of How I Met Your Mother, we need to go back to the beginning. The first camera was invented in 18... I'm just asking that we meet somewhere in the middle, that's all. Also, to be clear, Mr. Beast and all of the channels copying him have never made their videos that way because they value people's time. They're just trying to keep their retention rate as high as possible. It's just a different metric they're prioritizing. If Jimmy cared about his audience at all, he wouldn't sign off on doing this unbelievably deceptive bullshit where during mid-roll ads, they put this progress bar on the bottom that starts off really fucking fast. It makes it seem like, oh, this will be done in a few seconds. I don't need to skip this. And then once people have done the math in their head and decided they're just gonna see it through to the end, the progress bar mysteriously slows down. Like a lot. And suddenly that last 20% is starting to feel like an eternity. I thought we were almost done and now I'm not even sure we're halfway through. This shit really pisses me off because this is a very deliberate choice. This is not an accident. You have to go out of your way to keyframe it like this with the intention of deceiving your viewers. It's such an openly manipulative thing to do to your audience and is very telling of the way you view them. That you're willing to lie to their face if it means a number on an analytics screen might get a little bit bigger. To you, they're not real people, they're just data points that can be orchestrated in whatever direction you want them to. And that sucks. And if you agree with me, please sign up for my Patreon. Right now, I'm trying to buy a bunch of Teslas so I can see how many you can stack on top of each other before they explode. I have a lot of respect for creators that make algorithmically counterintuitive decisions because they don't want to waste their viewers' time. I think Internet Shaquille is hands down the best cooking channel on YouTube. He's knowledgeable, he's funny, and he always just gets right to the point. There's a promise of information in the title, and he doesn't try to withhold it from you just because he could theoretically put more mid-rolls in by meandering for a bit. For a long time, Tom Scott was kind of the science version of this. Nerd Writer is like the film version of this. In a world where most video essays end up being somehow longer than the piece of media they're about, Nerd Writer's still barely hitting that 7-minute mark. It's just, here's this thing I noticed in a movie, here's some insight about it, and that's all I got for you, brother. But I think it's also worth noting that these channels are successful. They're not doing the thing you're supposed to be doing, but it works for them. And I just want to use that as a testament to making things the way you want to make them, or making the type of video you wish there was more of. Sometimes going against the grain actually is the best way to make yourself stand out. Like, don't just throw together a bunch of crappy videos about whatever drama is trending. Make a retrospective about some niche hobby you had as a kid. This shit is way more interesting. Remember, this website is called YouTube, not do the thing that you think will become popular tube. That would be a really stupid URL. Now, I'll admit it's not totally fair to get mad at other people for wasting my time when really no one wastes more of it than I do. There was a day last week where the screen time on my phone was 106 hours. And I slept in that day. There's so many things I want to do in my life before I'm gone, so many people I want to spend time with, so many places I want to go, but I can't stop scrolling. I don't want to, but it's as if it's been scientifically engineered to be the easiest thing to do.
Adam and Eve were caught on camera. Can you guess who's holding the camera? Keep scrolling if you choose the devil.
It's this weird feeling I get whenever I go on TikTok or Instagram Reels or Threads, just kidding, where I'm simultaneously aware of what it's doing to my brain, but I do nothing to try and intervene. I just sit there and let it destroy me because I have to see that next video. What if it's so funny, but I exit out of the app before I ever get a chance to watch it? I'd cry. No. I'd kill myself. And it's almost as if that feeling is intentional. They've made it so the distance between you and a chance at dopamine is just one small swipe away. I'd almost say it's malicious, but I know that's not true because a billion-dollar company would never do that. Billionaires care about your well-being. That's how they made so much money in the first place. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, they would never intentionally show us things to make us upset because studies show that people spend more time on a platform if they're seeing something that makes them angry. They wouldn't do that. Because that's not nice. This is what most of my timeline is whenever I scroll through Twitter. It's the most blatantly obvious engagement bait that has weaseled its way into being prioritized because it's successfully baited engagement. It's arguments about body counts and whether Nickelodeon shows were good or not. And it works on me. It has the intended effect when I see it. I was scrolling one day and I saw someone say, iCarly, Victorious, Zoe 101. And at first I had to squint for a few seconds because I wasn't sure what they meant by this. And then I realized they were saying the first two are good, LeBron James, and the third is sort of an imposter that doesn't belong. And I, in my head, got defensive. I was like, what are you talking about? Zoe 101 was good. It was certainly better than Victorious. How does this have so many likes? What's wrong with Zoe 101? And then I exited out of Twitter and sat in silence for a few seconds as I pondered what just happened. How I got upset that someone I don't know said a show from 20 years ago that I kind of liked isn't as good as a different show that I barely watch? Why is this how I'm spending my time? In this moment, I could have been doing anything else, and yet I chose to introduce this argument into my head? That can't be good long term, right? Like we can all agree that's probably not great for my brain. If you're like me and you've been struggling with the endless scroll, I do have a recommendation. I found this by accident while I was doing a video a couple years ago about dopamine fast. It's called Screen Zen, and it's free. I have it set up so it only gives me a few minutes at a time on each of the most poisonous apps that I hate but am addicted to. So you can still pop in for a sec and get the feeling of being up to date, but then it'll grab you by the shoulders and yank you out before you get too sucked into the void. You still get a little bit sucked, but not all the way. But of course, I saved the most important issue for last. Video games are too big now. And I'm tired of pretending like they're not. When I was a kid, the idea of an open world game blew my mind. Up until a certain point, everything was very linear, very insulated. You load into an area, you do what you have to do there, and then you move on to the next place. But this idea that you could go anywhere, in any order, what could be more immersive than a world that you could essentially live in? And boy, did I want to live in any other world than the one in which I played clarinet and got bullied by someone who also played clarinet. You're not better than me. We're the same. To me, open world games felt like the culmination of every technological milestone. It felt like the future of gaming. And then over time, it became the standard. It became what every game had to be. And then all of a sudden, it seemed like the goal shifted from making the best game to making the biggest game. I guess because it's easier to market something based on scale than to just come out and say, hey, the story's really good in this one, trust me. I started to get overwhelmed by games because of the seemingly endless list of tasks I needed to complete, the chores that I needed to do. And to be clear, I'm not talking about games like Crime Scene Cleaner. That's a great game, okay? I don't mind chores when the game is chores. I'll play Power Wash Simulator all day. I played Unpacking shortly after moving into this house, and I hadn't finished unpacking in real life yet. My wife was not happy about that. What I'm specifically referring to is when games feel artificially padded with repetitive side quests. When there's like 7 different activities to do, but you just end up doing each of them 100 times. And as someone who goes into games with a completionist mindset, this is the quickest way to make me give up. Cause I'll try to collect every item and go into every corner for like 20% of the story until one day I just stop opening the game altogether, relieved by the massive weight now off my shoulders. I think this is a big reason why Elden Ring had such a big impact on me and so many other people. Yes, you're in this staggeringly large open world littered with places to go and things to kill, but it's not in the form of just a bunch of exclamation points on your minimap. Almost everything you do in this game is motivated by, oh, that looks cool, I want to go over there. It's a feeling you should have while playing an open world game. It's that sense of wonder that has mostly been lost by all these cookie cutter taskathons. Also, the more bloated a game is with content, the more narrative dissonance there ends up being, which of course only matters as much as you let it. But it's still really funny sometimes when the main questline of a game is trying to instill this sense of urgency, but at any given moment you can just go fuck around for 15 straight hours. We've only got until midnight tonight to rescue my uncle, or they're gonna execute him. Hey, do you think there's anything cool in this cave over here? A compromise that works great for my brain is a semi-open world, like the 2 most recent God of War games. I like when there's enough optional side exploration that it still scratches that itch for me, without it ever feeling like I'm missing out on this overwhelming amount of content by just wanting to streamline the story for a bit. I think it's okay for a game to be modest in scope. Just because the technology exists to procedurally generate 1,000 different planets doesn't mean we have to do that. Sometimes I wonder if the technical limitations from previous generations actually made games better. I mean, it certainly made them more contained. It made them more approachable. I love going back and playing older games that only take a few hours to finish. I want to be able to complete things. I want to have a full experience in a reasonable amount of time. I'm tired of not getting any closure from games because they make it so tedious and long-winded to get to that point. And that's assuming the game even works when you first buy it, which chances are it won't. It's become so normalized for games to be unfinished and littered with bugs on release that it's actually surprising when a game comes out and works the way it's supposed to. A lot of even really good games aren't worth buying for like 2 full years. Cyberpunk, fantastic game in 2024. But I bought this on release and had to slog through so many bugs, retread so many areas because of crashes, all before encountering an immovable obstacle. I could not progress the story because every time I tried to initiate this cutscene, the other character would not say the next line he was supposed to, so they would both just sit there in silence indefinitely. I couldn't continue the game past this point, and I was like 10 hours into it. I had a similar game-breaking experience with Dying Light 2, Metro Exodus, and I'm not even touching Starfield anytime soon. The bigger a game is supposed to be, the more I don't trust it to be a complete experience when it first comes out. It usually takes years to fill out all the missing pieces, so I'm not gonna waste my time or money on what I assume will be a significantly worse experience than if I were to just wait until it's on sale in 2027. But in a world of titles forced out prematurely by a deadline that was never realistic, nothing feels quite as egregious as the yearly full-priced sports game. You spend 11 months building up a player or a team or a general manager if you're a weirdo like me, and then as soon as the calendar flips over, you gotta start from scratch. All right, everyone, time for the new game. Yes, it's $100 again, but we've made so many improvements. The number on the box is different. And where's your credit card? NBA 2K has one of the most aggressive microtransaction systems I've ever seen in a video game. But they're not just dedicated to milking every single dollar out of your bank account. They've also made it their personal mission to waste as much of your time as humanly possible. A few years ago, they added something revolutionary. They turned the park into the city. Now, functionally, at its core, the city is just a menu. Every physical location that you have to trek to could have just been text on a screen and it would have been way more efficient to navigate. But that wouldn't be innovative. Innovation is when you have to jog a mile just to have Gatorade before your next game. Innovation is when you create something tedious so you can sell the solution to it. Man, aren't you guys tired of having to navigate this big stupid city we made? Then buy a bike. It's $10, fuck you. Imagine if every time you turned on your computer, you had to make a little guy run across town just to go to the Gmail store. Oh shit, forgot my password, gonna have to sprint over to City Hall. I feel like every single element of this game is designed with the goal of wasting your time. Whether it's getting interrupted in the main menu to show you 2 separate ads, or a halftime show you cannot skip even if you press X the whole time. Don't get me wrong, this halftime show is great. They've got Ernie, Kenny, Shaq, my 3 favorite guys. They show highlights and relevant stats, they make jokes. By sports game standards, this halftime show is fantastic. But there are 1 million games in every basketball season, and I don't want to watch 1 million halftime shows. I'm just trying to speed run to the playoffs so I can take a virtual trophy home to my real life Orlando Magic. Is that too much to ask? 58 seconds, by the way. But whatever, those are just minor inconveniences. The really egregious wastes of time are in the My Career mode. Now the thing is, when you start his career, this guy fucking sucks at basketball, which is a problem because that's the thing he's trying to do. He's slow as hell, he can't shoot to save his life, he has 1 shirt and it's brown. And in order to fix these things, you need to obtain virtual currency. Now, there's 2 ways you can do this. Option 1, grind. Spend dozens of hours playing dozens of games, scraping together pennies so you can get 1% faster, 1% stronger, 1% better at handling ball. But it's never enough. This process is miserable. You're useless out there. You don't belong in the NBA. You would be better off in any other line of work. And this is exactly by design. This is how the game wants you to feel. They want you to hate this part because they know the more frustrating of an experience you have, the more likely you are to just skip to option 2, spend $40 more. Come on, just do it. You don't have time for this. Don't you want to get to the fun part? You'll start doing the math in your head and rationalize it as a no-brainer. Yeah, $40 is a lot of money, but it's not nearly as much money as I could earn in the 40 hours it's saving me. You feel like a genius. You feel like you outsmarted the system, and then you realize this is the system. I did the exact thing they wanted me to do. And it wouldn't even be that bad if the game itself didn't already cost $70. But now you're out over $100, maybe $150 if you pre-ordered it. Also, the professional athlete you created doesn't play like he's never touched a basketball in his life before.
And I've got all the natural ability in the world thanks to my genetics.
And then you get to do it all again next year. This whole system of paying to skip a grind that has been intentionally designed to be insufferable has become way too common. Developers are purposely holding our time hostage, knowing we'll probably spend a few bucks to get some of it back. I feel like that's almost the entire business model of MMOs. It's one of the reasons I stopped playing RuneScape after our lifelong on-off relationship. I kept having to fight the urge to spend a few bucks on gold because the alternative was earning it in the game, but then I'd have to play the game. And I don't want to do that. I just want to play the end of the game. How long does it take to get there? Oh. Well, I guess this is where I live now. In conclusion, life is short, and your time is precious. It's your most valuable resource, and you should treat it that way because, unfortunately, no amount of it is guaranteed. And I just hate seeing how much it's become commodified, how companies have figured out ways to steal as much of it as they can from us. You can't even pause a fucking movie anymore without having your attention demanded. I know you're just getting up to pee, but if you could please scan this QR code, we got a lot of interesting information about Lysol wipes. The way our attention gets pulled in every direction at all times also makes me feel like I should be multitasking always Sundays or I'll fall behind. I always feel like I'm missing out on something. There's so many movies I want to watch and games I want to play, and there's not enough hours in the day to do it all. So when I do give myself free time, I try to be overly efficient with it. I can't just play a video game. I should be catching up on podcasts. Loading screen, perfect. That gives me exactly 9 seconds to scroll through TikTok. I hate to be bored. I'd hate to have to listen to the thoughts that are already in my brain. I need to be absorbing new information constantly or I'll die. I've been trying more and more lately to not let the feeling that there's something better I could be doing prevent me from enjoying the time that I have. Sometimes it's nice to go for a walk without bringing my AirPods. There's still plenty of stuff to listen to. Birds, cars, 1 billion cicadas making the world's loudest sound. I don't need to min-max content consumption. In fact, I probably shouldn't be doing that. I don't think prioritizing constant small hits of dopamine, hoping it all adds up to something meaningful, is the secret to being happy. The secret to being happy is gambling. Nobody's ever had a bad time in the casino.
This is free, so how do you make money?
The advertisers cover the cost of the TV. So this is an ad.
This is always on.
Whatever you're watching, we're able to monetize using the bottom device. Okay, so check this out. So there's a Pizza Hut ad right there. We literally are now on pizzahut.com, and we can order a pizza.
Hey guy, welcome back to my tiny little butt. One of the first commentary videos I ever made was about a Facebook magician named Rick Lax, who exploded onto the scene by tricking millions of normies into thinking that he was reading their mind, when really he was just doing math. Now, for a long time, Rick had completely disappeared off my radar until a few weeks ago when he went viral on Twitter with some pretty insane new tricks. For some reason, all of them involved pouring Red Bull on top of other things. I suppose by now he's run out of simple math tricks to do, so he's moved on to chemistry? I don't know, seems a little random, but he does possess magic, so I will not doubt him. I'd like to think that most people watching these clips would stop it halfway through and say out loud, this is fake news, I'm watching a lie. But scrolling through the comments on Facebook where, holy fuck, this has 178 million views, you can see a lot of people buying into it without much thought, which is par for the course. This is Facebook. This is really eye-opening stuff. I never thought energy drinks could be so harsh. I'm never drinking energy drinks ever again. Indeed, it is eye-opening. Eye-opening Facebook, and now eye-closing Facebook. But you know what? I've clowned enough on Rick in the past. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt here. So while I was planning my last video, I decided, you know what? I'm already doing all this DIY shit. Might as well pick up a couple of Red Bulls and take it upon myself to recreate Rick's wacky homemade science experiment. Only then can we prove once and for all that magic is real and Rick is hoarding it all to himself. To the table! Hi. As you all can see, I've brought with me today an assortment of crafting equipment. You'll notice there's no hot glue gun. Thank God. Instead, I just have a 12-pack of Red Bull, which I never buy or drink, but I did today just for this video, and a bunch of other shit that is about to get doused in Red Bull. So this will be exciting. The table is very short. I would stand like this, but I don't have the leg strength to maintain this for more than about 7 seconds. Whoop, and we're done. All right, so there are 5 specific energy drink life hacks from this video that we're gonna be attempting today. For each one that is successful, I will be awarding 1 point. If they are all successful, that's 5 points. Actually, the point system is arbitrary, I'm now realizing. But if they all work, and I was wrong about doubting Rick, then I promise to send a message to him on Facebook apologizing for this video, as well as the other one I made about him, and I will retract every negative thing I've ever said about Rick Lax. If none of them work, I will be calling the cops. You can't keep getting away with this, Rick. Lying is worse than murder. That's not true. Murder is way worse. Hey, let's get started. All right, in the first one, he cuts a balloon and then dips it into Red Bull. And look at that, the latex seals right up. Instantly, the energy drink just binds it together with whatever adhesive properties that Red Bull has. I'm gonna try to recreate it as accurately as possible. I don't have a martini glass. Hopefully a wine glass will do just as well. First, Red Bull in the cup. All right, this should be easy enough to test. Let's try another dip. I think you have to do it twice. He didn't say that, but that's what I'm assuming. Yeah, it didn't work. Let's try purple instead. I think it was the color of the balloon. It's almost ready. Yeah, it's not working. Don't worry, guys. That was just a fluke. I think the other 4 are definitely gonna work. This is Rick freaking Lax we're talking about here. He's never lied to anybody. All right, so for this one, spray fruit and vegetables with cooking spray. And would you look at that? I have fruit and vegetables. I'm sure I could just reuse the wine glass for this, but for maximum authenticity, I will be using a cup, because that's what he says. I don't want to change any variables here. This is science we're working on. Totally normal thing to be doing. Oh no, it's so slippery. All right. Wait, let me get my legs into this. I mean, I squished it a little bit, but that's because it's a lemon and it's already a little bit squishy. The real test is gonna be one of these bad boys, which are so slippery right now. I'm wondering if I'll ever be able to hold anything ever again. I'm just glad I get to do this again. And this one practically has a built-in handle. You know what I just thought of? What if Rick's pranking me? What if, to get revenge for the other video I made about him, he made this video knowing I would see it, my curiosity would take hold, and then I'd end up filming myself in my kitchen squeezing a bunch of slippery phallic vegetables. If so, good job, Rick. I'm putting these in the trash. I just washed my hands for like 2 minutes and they're still slippery. So for this next one, we're gonna get to do a little bit of cooking. This should be fun.
They ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine when you're not.
Comment below your favorite type of egg. Wait, what's supposed to happen at the end? Okay, they don't look stretchy yet, but we do have some kind of reaction going on here with the Red Bull. Why does it feel like I shouldn't be doing this? Oh, because I shouldn't? Yeah, that makes sense. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off because it's definitely been 3 minutes and I don't know what kind of volcano is erupting. Burnt Red Bull. Okay, well, I can tell you by looking at them that they're not stretchy, but of course the only way to find out if something is stretchy is by stretching it, so. Here we go. Ow, it's hot. Ow, it's hot. Ow, it's hot. You guys ever seen someone hold an egg yolk before? This is the grossest thing I've ever done, and I never want to do it again. And that's the end of the sentence. Yeah, now I'm definitely sure that Rick is pranking me. You know what? I'm actually going to give this one half a point. It didn't work quite as advertised, but the eggs are still technically stretchy. But then I'm going to subtract an entire point for making me have to clean this shit up. Fun fact, my mother-in-law is coming to visit in like 2 hours, and Amanda's gonna be pretty mad at me if it still smells like Red Bull and eggs. All right, the good news is there are no more eggs. The bad news is my hammer is about to get very sticky. Okay, seems simple enough. Good thing I came prepared.
When you're not really fine, but you just can't.
I love it. I love to do this. This is kind of like ASMR, except bad. So it's exactly like ASMR. Just when I thought this couldn't smell any better, we're now adding vinegar to the mix. Best day of my life. The hammer is wet. The kitchen is stinky. Time to see if the hammer is rubber. Moment of truth. Is it gonna be bendy? No, of course not. Why would I even think that it would be? By the way, this video now has 186 million views. Why? I've smelled a lot of bad smells in my day, most of them coming from my own body, but this takes the cake. A very stinky cake. A fun joke I'd like to do on this channel for a while is when I react to something silly that didn't work, is I'll put a card up recommending my video, why did you think this would work? Just a fun little meta joke I like to do, mostly to make myself laugh. I could have done that 4 times so far in this video. Don't worry though, I think I've saved the best for last. In this last clip, Rick is attempting to tackle one of man's most pressing issues, bread and its lack of portability. Well, I got my bread here. I wonder what the other secret ingredient is. Red Bull? You don't say. Honey, how come the hammer's in the sink? I don't know. Who are you? You don't sound like my wife. When I get done with this bread, it's gonna be so portable. Oh, the places I'll be able to go with this bread. When the bread's too big to fit in your pan for your life hack. Perfect, I can just use this weird tray that was already in the kitchen when we moved into this apartment. All right, Bottoms up, guys! Not only can I take my bread with me anywhere now, but it's gonna be all soggy and taste like the worst drink. That relatable moment when you regret your choice? Coat both sides. Yeah, good point. I'd hate not to be thorough. Now the moment of truth. I'm gonna take my wedding ring off because right now I don't deserve to be married. Oh, it's really working, guys. I'm doing it. I'm making the bread portable. Oh, guys.
Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.
After all that shit I talked about Rick, I was wrong. The problem was with me all along. Not this video. This works perfect. I can take this bread to a museum. I could take it to the beach. I could eat this bread anywhere and everywhere, and that's what I'm gonna do. Thanks, Rick. You guys want to hear my theory as to how this one kind of worked? Because the bread got wet. But hey, that's just a theory. Wait, hold on. The content is no longer available? Is Rick watching me right now? It all makes sense. This was his plan all along. He's had his eyes on me. There's a camera in here, isn't there? Come out, Rick, wherever you are. He planted this seed and then watched as I watered it with Red Bull and vinegar. And now that his bidding is done, he deleted the video, so I don't even have proof that it ever existed. Did it ever exist? Am I asleep right now? My light turned off. Well, I can already see all the comments about how I seem like I lost my mind in this video, and that's because I did. I don't even know how to end this video. It's all dark now because the light turned off. It still stinks in here. Well, guess the only thing I can do is eat the bread. All right, thanks for watching, guys. So I've gone back and forth on how I feel about this. At first I was mad at Rick for making me spend like $20 on Red Bull and a wet baguette, but then I thought about it and I actually started to appreciate what he's doing here. Obviously, these were not going to work, but the fact that he even made me feel like I had to disprove him is a success. Rick isn't a scientist, he's a magician, and these are just illusions. Like, I don't know how he did this balloon thing, but he certainly made it look like he cut the balloon and then the Red Bull fixed it. It's at least better than staring into the camera telling me that my number I subtracted 2 from is 2 less than the number I had before, and so I have to share the video because of it. He's adapting, he's improving his craft, so all I have to say is good for you, Rick. But then I thought about it some more and I got mad again. This fucking hammer was just rubber the whole time. That's why he's barely tapping these cans. This vegetable was just rubber the whole time. These eggs are... Oh, wait. I guess those are real eggs. Just kidding, because he cut to a news shot where he replaced them with rubber eggs. Come on, Rick, you're like 40 years old and you're playing with kids' toys pretending that you did magic just so you can go viral on Facebook? It's not all bad though. There are some positive stories to come out of this. I read this very inspirational message in the comments. Don't underestimate the power of energy drinks. These are my before and after pictures from when I never drank them to when I drank 3 a day. It was a lot of hard work and positive thinking too, so the energy drinks can't take all the credit. And these are the pictures. Well, I hope we all learned a valuable lesson today about how you can't believe anything you see on the internet because all of it's a lie. Except for, and I'm so glad I make my clone do all the brand deals for me, so I never have to advertise anything. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember to give a thumbs sideways if you are indifferent about it, and I'll see you tomorrow with another video about cleaning my feet. Bye! A few months ago, I made a video called Efficiency in Comedy, The Office vs. Friends. In this video, I took 2 shows that both hold a special place in my heart and compared them based on one metric. How many jokes are there per minute, aka which show, in my eyes, is more comedically efficient? While I'm very happy with the way this video turned out and the reception was mostly positive, I think the biggest problem with this video, despite just not being thorough enough with my data, is that these 2 shows are just too different to compare head to head. Completely different styles of comedy made during 2 distinct eras of pop culture, making this relationship too apples versus oranges to draw any real conclusions. So when I set out to revisit this format, I made it my goal to only compare shows that are both apples or both oranges or both bananas, you get the idea. Two shows that are very similar. And when I made this my goal, two shows immediately came to mind: Arrested Development and Community. The closer I started to compare these shows, the more I realized how many elements between them are nearly identical. They each feature ensemble casts made up of a bunch of quirky weirdos and one straight man to react to their quirky weirdness. They're both very meta shows that repeatedly break the fourth wall in ways most other shows don't, and they both seem to have mastered the art of the callback, with numerous jokes that span multiple seasons.
Shut up, Leonard.
Her?
Hell, each show even has one notorious asshole fuckface that has a history of making the people they work with feel unsafe, so we're really checking all the boxes here. But the biggest thing that ties these series together is their shared fate. These are both shows that were critically acclaimed, but ultimately unsuccessful during their initial network runs, and were each given individual opportunities to come back to life, but with underwhelming results. But while these two shows suffered eerily similar fates, the path they each took to get there really couldn't have been more different. Arrested Development 2.0 was served on a silver platter and still managed to disappoint, while Community's attempt at resurrection seemed doomed to fail from the start. Two shows each given a second chance at life, but which one did a better job at fucking it up? And would they have been better off just quitting while they were ahead? So first, let's do a quick history lesson that will never be taught in any school ever. Starting with Arrested Development. The first season premiered in 2003 to initially high ratings that slowly dwindled over the next few months. Almost instantaneously, Fox was ready to give up on Arrested Development, despite the fact that they were literally winning awards immediately. They won 5 Emmys in 2004, and yet none of the cast was even sure if they were going to be brought back for another season because the critical acclaim wasn't translating into broad enough popularity for Fox's liking. You see, Arrested Development was always praised for its cleverness and originality during a time when simplistic, formulaic sitcoms were being birthed left and right. Each episode weaved together storylines and long-running bits in such a carefully crafted way that just wasn't typically seen on television. In fact, the show was so jam-packed with jokes that I think it was actually ahead of its time in a bad way. Because while Arrested Development has since earned a reputation as a show you sometimes have to pause and rewind or rewatch episodes altogether to catch subtle nuances you may not have noticed at first, you couldn't really do that at the time. In 2003, if you sat down with your family to watch a show live on TV that you can't rewind or pause or anything like that, and the show you're watching feels almost like an onslaught of punchlines and dialogue and information, it's not necessarily going to satisfy the need that most people had when they watched television, which was more or less to turn off your brain for an hour or two of easy laughs after a long day at work. In a lot of ways, Arrested Development was made to be binged before that became the standard for television. The writers seem to have more foresight from the beginning than in any show I've ever seen, certainly in any comedy I've ever seen. Even small things like Buster getting his hand bitten off by a loose seal, but his love interest and mother, two separate characters I should say, are both named Lucille.
Watch out for Lucille! Lucille!
And have been from the beginning. That's a small detail, but things like that make you think, well, did they map out the entire show from day one? Is that why those characters were named Lucille in the first place? All to lead up to this one moment in season 2? Like I said, that's one small detail, but just one of many examples of the writing on the show indicating an unprecedented level of foresight. Arrested Development sets a standard for how a show can be written, but you have to zoom out and look at the entire picture as a whole before you can fully appreciate it, an option only available in hindsight and not to the viewers who at the time were only able to watch one episode a week. It's for that reason that I think the show's cult following didn't fully establish until a few years after it ended. As a result, Arrested Development suffered right out of the gate, failing to match the ratings of comparable sitcoms at the time, like Will and Grace, 2.5 Men, Everybody Loves Raymond, each of which proved to be more accessible to mainstream audiences. The first major blow was dealt to the showrunners when their second season, which began in 2004, was cut back to 18 episodes from its originally scheduled 22. Ratings dropped ever so slightly over the span of the second season, but it was enough to cause Fox to want to move the show from Sunday nights to Monday. In general, when an underperforming show moves to a different night altogether, it's usually a pretty solid indication that cancellation is imminent. This proved to be the case for Arrested Development when, after an even more significant ratings drop to begin their third season, Fox was quick to step in and deliver a, you know what? I think we're done here, giving the show only 13 episodes to finish its final season. But although Fox felt they had seen enough of Arrested Development, the show wasn't dead in the water just yet. Or I guess I should say dead in a police boat in the water, like in the show. It's a reference to the show. Anyway, both Showtime and ABC were originally in talks of taking Arrested Development on, with Showtime actually offering Mitch Hurwitz, the show's creator, 2 seasons spanning 24 episodes, which he eventually declined, stating the show had reached its end creatively as a series. However, we now know that that is not the case, because in October 2011, over 5 years after the last episode aired, it was announced by Mitch Hurwitz on a panel at the New Yorker Festival that there would be a 4th season to serve as a, quote, limited run TV series, which would lead into a movie. 4 seasons and a movie. Sounds familiar if you're a fan of Community, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Now, of course, what really happened to Arrested Development is that we got a season 4 released on Netflix in 2013 to mixed reviews. At that point, it had been over 7 years since the show's hiatus began, and it ultimately proved to be too long of a time to not do something before attempting to do it again. Despite years of fan anticipation and excitement for the new rendition of the show, season 4 didn't receive nearly the same praise of its original network run, with several factors potentially to blame. For one, due to schedule restrictions with the now absurdly famous cast, episodes had to be split up to focus on only 1 or 2 characters at a time, which made the plot move along in a palpably awkward way. Another one of my personal complaints was that each episode is just too long. Rather than a nice, compact 22 minutes, every episode seemed to drag on with none of the fat trimmed, simply, I think, because there was no network anymore forcing them to trim it. And yes, there are some incredible moments in season 4, and I personally think that the episode where Will Arnett and Ben Stiller are both under the impression that the other wants to have sex with them, but actually neither of them do, it's probably the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life, seriously. But aside from moments like that, which are unfortunately few and far between, too much of the season is just when Arrested Development had built its reputation on being this joke-filled powerhouse of a comedy. Arrested Development continues to live on today with a 5th season now on Netflix, which might actually be news to you, because it was to me. I wasn't even aware of it until I started writing this video. But even as the show lives on, fan reception seems to be pretty unanimous in deciding that Arrested Development 2.0 just doesn't hold a candle to the original. And while the reception and audience both continue to decline, it feels like it's only a matter of time before Arrested Development is gone for good, perhaps even ruining their own reputation on the way out.
I've made a huge mistake.
So now let's transition over to Community, a show with a similar story, but a sadder, weirder, darkest timeline kind of a story. Community premiered its first episode on NBC in September 2009 with what would end up being a series high of just under 8 million viewers. As tends to happen with television, the show started off a little wonky, but seemed to find its footing throughout its first season, which culminated in a fantastic and highly rated final episode, Modern Warfare, the first of many paintball-related season finales to come. At the time, Community was unlike anything else on TV, with the exception of maybe 30 Rock, because where most shows have a very simplistic and safe format that they rarely stray away from, Community seemed to pride itself in its boldness. Community wasn't so much a sitcom as it was a parody of a sitcom, and would alternate genres from week to week. You could watch 5 episodes of Community in a row and feel like you were watching a different show every time. It seemed the goal with Community wasn't just to tell a story or to make people laugh, but to transcend the genre that it was a part of, and it did that successfully, establishing itself as one of the most inventive shows on television. Unfortunately, much like with Arrested Development, this didn't necessarily result in commercial success. In fact, the show's genre-hopping ambition probably had a negative effect on the general TV-watching public, most of whom would prefer to laugh at a show like Virgin Nerd Guy Say Smart Thing or Too Hot Girl Do Dumb Job. Because it's simple, it's easy, you know what you're gonna get every week, and you don't have to think. The first season of Community averaged just short of 5 million viewers per episode, underperforming relative to similar shows airing at the time like The Office, 30 Rock, and How I Met Your Mother, each of which garnered nearly double the viewership of Community. Although the quality of the show only improved immensely over the first 3 seasons, especially in season 3. If you haven't seen the show and you just want to watch one episode, watch season 3, episode 3, Remedial Chaos Theory. I believe this episode was nominated for a Hugo Award and an Emmy, but you watch this episode and you just think, like, how did they write this? How long did it take to conceptualize this? It's fucking brilliant. But anyway, even though the quality of the show continued to improve as time went on, the ratings consistently were on the decline, and so NBC, after 3 seasons, felt like they needed to make a change. So in 2012, Dan Harmon, creator and writer of Community, was, without much explanation, let go by Sony Pictures Television and replaced with David Garasio and Moses Port, who found success with their 90s sitcom Just Shoot Me, starring David Spade. Their more recent body of work, however, includes a show so terrible and bizarre, you have to wonder how they were even considered for a job like this. The show in question is called Aliens in America, and the basic synopsis is that this family ordered a foreign exchange kid from London to be like friends with their son because the son is a loser, and they thought this would make people think he was cool if he had a friend from London. Yeah, that's the real plot of the show, guys, but it gets even worse. You see, the family ends up being disappointed when they find out that the kid they ordered was actually from Pakistan, and they wanted a white guy.
It seemed impossible, but somehow my life had just gotten worse.
It almost seems as if this whole show only exists to shit on someone else's culture and is just full of racist undertones, even by the slightly inflated 2008 standards. Aliens in America ran for, and you're not gonna believe this, but only 1 season. Crazy, right? On the CW, and all the episodes are on YouTube, to my knowledge, if you want to see how bad this gets. But the point is, the masterminds behind this embarrassing travesty were given the keys to one of the most creative and unique shows in modern television history right at its peak. What could go wrong, right? Well, pretty much everything. Needless to say, the 4th season didn't go so well, with the drop in quality immediately apparent to fans. In fact, the season was so out of place and generally disliked that they even began the eventual season 5 by having Abed relate the previous year to that weird final season of Scrubs that nobody asked for and basically ruined the show.
See? He does a voiceover wrap-up at the end of every episode.
Wow.
Despite Dan Harmon eventually being brought back for that season 5, and I think reviving the show creatively, it seemed that most of the damage done by the previous season was irreparable, and the show never fully recovered, with the ratings now at an all-time low. Season 5 would end up being Community's final season on NBC. This left a lot of fans confused due to Community's commonly used mantra, 6 seasons in a movie, which was interpreted as like the plan for the show. But NBC chairman Bob Greenblatt came out and basically said, and I'm summarizing here, but basically said, no, that was their thing. That had nothing to do with us. So NBC canceled the show in 2014, claiming it just didn't make sense for them to have another season with that level of an audience. And just like that, Community, like Arrested Development before it, was dead in the water, abandoned by their own network. In a desperate attempt to finish the show's creative arc and fulfill the self-imposed prophecy of 6 seasons in a movie, Dan Harmon was forced to do the unthinkable. In a last-ditch effort to keep his show alive, he turned somewhere few have even dared approach and none will ever approach again. And maybe you're thinking, it can't be that bad. Who revived the show? Comedy Central? No. Netflix? Not quite. Community's 6th season was picked up by none other than the world-famous Yahoo Screen, a streaming service so good it doesn't exist anymore. Yahoo sunk $42 million into Community's 6th season, and as a result had monumental, I'd even say unrealistic expectations for the financial success of the show. As you can probably imagine, advertisers didn't really have any interest in providing funding for a show that failed on its own network and then moved to a streaming service that nobody had ever heard of. Community's tumultuous 6th season would end up being its last, with most of the cast out of their contracts and moving on to bigger and better things, a reputation basically destroyed by Yahoo, and less fan support than ever. After years of riding a roller coaster that had far more downs than ups, which actually sounds like a fun roller coaster, but not if you're describing the path of a television show. Anyway, Community was finally, and perhaps mercifully, laid to rest. The weirdest thing about all of this, and maybe even the saddest part, is that the 6th season was actually pretty good. It was clever, it was ambitious, and it had the same charm that the show had for 4 of the previous 5 seasons. The problem wasn't that it was bad. The problem was that nobody watched it because it was on Yahoo fucking Screen. That sounds like a joke. That sounds like something Clickhole would come up with. Like, what's next? AOL Go? The Blockbuster app? What did this gift of a show do to deserve this fate besides try their best? Nothing. Because sometimes life just isn't fair, especially when you're trying to make a television show. So you have 2 well-received shows that were murdered, brought back to life, and then murdered once more. Well, one of them hasn't been murdered quite yet, but it feels inevitable. Most review websites have season 5 of Arrested Development rated even lower than the already disappointing season 4, so it's safe to say that it's trending in the wrong direction. But you have 2 shows who both died twice. But which one died worse? At first glance, it's easy to point at Community's almost comically explosive ending and say, well, it doesn't get much worse than that. To lose your showrunner, who was imperative to the voice of the show, to then get kicked off your own network only to be rescued by essentially a geriatric patient who then not only died while trying to save you, but then blamed you for being the reason he died, how could it possibly get any worse than that? It doesn't. But how much of that was Community's fault? I mean, in spite of years of adversity, Community still delivered a relatively consistent product that continued to stretch the boundaries of television, even by their own lofty standards. Arrested Development, on the other hand, had basically everything going for them when they came back for a season 4. They had all the marketing in the world from an online global superpower entering the peak of its worldwide dominance. They had years of buildup and hype and a cast that had more star power now than they did initially when the show was first on, and they still fucked it up because they lost what made them so good in the first place. If this was a game of poker, Arrested Development was dealt a royal flush from the beginning, while Community was given a handful of that one card in the pack that has like the return policy on it or something, and also one Uno card that accidentally got shuffled into the deck and has like a weird stain on it. But even with 2 drastically different hands to play, the game ended the same for both of them. They both folded their hands and walked out of the casino in shame, probably wishing they had quit hours ago before arrogantly squandering away their winnings. I think the tragedy in all of this is how good both of these shows were at their peak, and how a few missteps, even if not through any fault of their own, could cause the perceptions of these shows to be permanently altered in a negative way. Maybe this story can be a lesson to networks and streaming services out there who insist on pulling dead shows out of their grave to dance around for us one last time, only to disappoint us when we realize that the corpse doesn't dance as well as it did when it was alive. Am I getting a little out of hand here with the analogies? I feel like I might be, but the point is, maybe it's okay to let something end, even if it's still good. Not every mildly successful movie needs 14 sequels. Not every Full House needs to get fuller. Sometimes it's okay to just let our memories be memories, because we as humans suffer from recency bias, so we should do our best when we can to let our most recent memory of someone or something we love be a positive one. That's it for today's video, guys. I really wanted to do a video like this again. I know it's been a while since I tackled something like this, but again, I had a lot of fun making this, so if you liked it, let me know. If you didn't like it, don't let me know because it'll hurt my feelings. And remember, as always, our goal with this video is to get 1 billion likes, so don't forget to smash that like button on the way out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, and do whatever else you feel is necessary to show support. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Hey guys, welcome back to the North Pole. My name's Santa, and this is Christmas. Hopefully it's pretty well documented by now that my favorite thing about Christmas is Christmas movies, and it's around this time every year that I get really excited to watch them on TV. The problem is I haven't had cable in like 7 years. This year though, that all changed, because a few months ago when we moved here and we had to get new internet, they were like, hey, we'll throw in DirecTV for another few bucks a month, and I was like, you know what? fuck it. Daddy's getting cable. Then I remembered that cable sucks. The shows are all the same, there's too many goddamn channels, and everything is a commercial. Luckily though, it's bearable for the next few weeks because we got the Hallmark Channel, sappy Christmas movies 24/7. We also got other channels that sometimes play Christmas movies. Originally, I was gonna make this whole video about Hallmark Christmas movies because I find them so hilarious and formulaic. A working businesswoman living in the big city has to visit her hometown for business reasons, but then falls in love and stays forever. That's all of them. Even the titles are identical. Here is their big holiday lineup. Christmas at Pemberley Manor, Christmas Joy, Road to Christmas, It's Christmas Eve, Christmas in Love, Christmas at Graceland, Christmas Reunited at Christmas at the Palace, A Shoe Addict, Homegrown, Welcome to Entertaining Christmas, Made to Order. When calls the heart Christmas. When calls the heart Christmas. Yeah, I don't know how to say that one. And after binging a ton of these for several days straight, I realized that everything I wanted to say about Hallmark movies could be summed up in this one clip. Here is the ending scene to Reunited at Christmas, and this should give you an idea of how empty and repetitive these movies are.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, my loves.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
But hold on, Drew, you're saying this video isn't about Hallmark movies, then why are you even talking about them? Well, mostly because I spent like 13 hours watching them and I didn't want that to be for nothing. But also because I think Hallmark movies are like the benchmark for a passable Christmas movie. If you find a Christmas movie and it's better than a Hallmark movie, it's pretty okay. If you find one that's worse than a Hallmark movie, you have something beautiful on your hands. And that is exactly what I feel Amanda and I stumbled onto on accident. It's a movie called Christmas Mail. It was on Ion Television, which is a channel, I guess. Now, the bad news is we only flipped there halfway through, so we missed the beginning. But the good news is the DVD only cost me $3. I bought this movie last week, and we've watched it, no lie, 10 times. This movie is the best, worst thing I've ever seen. It's terrible, but it's amazing. It's bizarre, but it's beautiful. Anyway, I've talked enough. I'm so excited to show you guys this movie. This video is going to be very long because I pretty much have something to say about every aspect of this movie. Real quick though, before we start, it's very obvious that this is like a crappy made-for-TV movie. And maybe it's like low-hanging fruit for me to make fun of that. But according to IMDb, and this is probably wrong, but according to IMDb, this movie had a budget of $2.5 million. I'm pretty sure that was a typo and they meant to say $2.5. But let's assume that that's correct. I don't know where that money went. Anyway, guy, let's watch this movie. She calls it Miss Sketty because she misses it. And then when she walks away, he says, all right, bye. Like he's hanging up a phone. Right, bye. You don't say bye to someone who's gonna be right back. Nephew, dinner! Miskin! Chicken? No, stupid Miskin. Cause you haven't made it in a while. And I miss it. We had this last night. Can I put my hand on this? No, get the fuck out of here. All right, bye. And then in the next scene, he's mad.
She is a threat.
Because her answering the letters leads to more letters coming in. Doesn't that mean the post office is getting more business? Wouldn't he want that if he's the boss? But he's like mad. He wants to get rid of her. Because they have too much business. I don't understand this at all.
132 giga. What's a bit MP3 player?
What even is technology? We tweeted out. And they drink the cocoa and she creams her pants. Then we have another scene which is actually even weirder than the old neighbor one from before.
Nope, this is our group.
So once again, his niece, who just wants him to get laid so bad.
Emily said you wanted to join.
Set him up into this group.
Single parent support group.
I don't have feelings for Christy North.
You know what's great about that scene? That tape recording of him saying, I don't have feelings for Christy North, never comes up again in the movie. Also, you were supposed to give him the tape recorder so he could record the conversation, and then you didn't give it to him. Nothing in this movie makes sense. Okay, a picnic, that's actually pretty cute. I think that's always a solid date idea because there's effort involved.
Well, it's actually it's an indoor picnic.
Oh.
$17.08.
Oh. So when he said picnic, he just meant, you want to eat Chinese food on the floor? That's my favorite kind of picnic.
Dao Jay.
Oh, and she speaks Chinese. What an unnecessary thing to add. You know, considering his total lack of acting prowess, one thing AJ Buckley does very well is the polite laugh. Gotta wear, because we're in this brutal Southern California winter. I know it gets cold there sometimes, but come on, a scarf, gloves. Today is December 10th, which is about the day that this is supposed to be in the movie. It is 68 degrees in Los Angeles. I don't think you need gloves. Anyway, then She-Hulk Bird.
Can't believe you fed the bird. High five.
I can't believe you fed the bird. Oh, you big dum-dum. That's just a misunderstanding. Wait, why is she doing that? Have you ever had a non-romantic platonic friend of yours wrap your scarf around you and like kind of do one of those? Of course she would think that's his wife. That's a weird thing to do. Who is Heather? This is what I was talking about earlier. Like, what is their relationship?
Where is she?
Wait a second. They're married and has kid. And to think that whole makeover was for nothing. That's weird. I don't have any messages on my answering machine. When was this movie made? 2010. They still have answering machines in 2010? Nah, we'll let it slide. Okay, now the laughs are starting to pile up. I can't keep up. First, she says this. But, Matt, we did a kiss. Oh, duh. You know you can write words in a script, right?
Me.
Remember earlier in the movie when she said the Postmaster General sent here on a special assignment?
Special assignment.
I thought that was a lie. But no. The real Postmaster General of the actual US government really sent her here, which is great, because that means...
Yeah, so speed it up, yeah.
Protagonist has all kinds of choices as far as female companionship, but chooses the ditzy one. Yikes. I would have rejected her right away and yielded to the charms of one of the numerous older predatory women who clearly wanted him and figured he would be easily trained. 5 out of 10. Well, guy, I guess that's pretty much it. That's the weirdest Christmas movie I've ever seen. I think it's really funny that Danny and I both made videos about bad Christmas movies at the same time. One thing I really liked about his was he made an original song and ended his video with that, and it was great. And I wasn't going to do that originally, but since he did, and I don't want to get one-upped, I feel like I have to. So here I go. 3, 4. Mumbling words and you cannot hear them. Christmas is here and presents are good. Turn down the music so you can hear me. Wait a second though. If she is Santa Claus's daughter, then that would mean that Mr. and Mrs. Claus... Hey guys, welcome back to my second attempt at filming this intro because when I tried to do this yesterday, I forgot to focus the camera. Life can be pretty stressful sometimes. Even when you're not screwing up one of the easiest jobs in the world, you're often faced with important decisions and complex moral dilemmas. And it can be hard to know exactly what to do because things are almost never black and white, except in Darman videos.
This pizza's frozen cold. I'm not paying for this.
Maybe you should get a job delivering pizza.
Derek finally understands how difficult it is to have a job.
I know how hard your job is.
The Darman cinematic universe has a beautifully simplistic view on life where there's always a good guy and a bad guy, there's an obvious solution to every problem, and karma happens immediately. Teacher accuses student of doing drugs, instantly regrets. Car mechanic tries to scam a woman, instantly regrets. Customer shames fast food worker, instantly regrets. Instantly regret. And when the titles don't end with instantly regrets it, it's what happens next will shock you. Which is funny because every single Darman video is exactly the same, so at this point, I am no longer shocked.
If you want this, you're gonna have to get it. From the trash.
Here,
You can get it out of the trash.
I know I'm a few years late to the Darman party, but I was in need of motivation and didn't know where else to turn. So today, I'd like to watch a few of his videos with you and see if we get inspired or if I instantly regret it. This first one's called Student Cheats on Final Exam. The important words are always capitalized for emphasis. And as you can see, little Michael over here is not paying attention to his classes. Instead, he's poisoning his brain with violent video games.
He took my kill.
Shame on you, Michael. I get it though, games are fun, but you're not gonna be able to coast through life multitasking. When you're at work, you focus on your job. And you don't let anything distract you from your job. Damn you, Mr. Mosby. To be fair though, he's obviously a gaming prodigy. Look at how he's able to move his character without even touching his keyboard. And apparently he's bilingual, so I actually think this kid's got a bright future ahead of him. Mr. Wilson's not happy with him though. You know how teachers can be.
Hey, Michael, it's showing me that you're on mute and your camera's off.
Oh, sorry. My computer was acting up.
Wow, a gamer and a liar? Now he's perfect for FaZe Clan.
Can you get us the new PS5?
How about if you both get A's on your math final?
Which is apparently your only class.
Then I'll buy it for you. How does that sound?
Really? Okay. Well, you may as well buy it for us now, because I'm gonna ace that test.
Huh. He sure is confident for someone who hasn't been paying any attention. I just hope he's not doing anything nefarious.
Check this out. Is this our math final? I found it online, so now I have all the answers.
I spoke too soon. He is doing something nefarious. Wait, did I? No, you did not.
It's not cheating. It's called taking a shortcut. I mean, how else do you think people succeed in life?
By taking the long way? I gotta say though, that was my favorite website growing up. middleschoolmathanswers.com. Of course, the entire page was just this specific final exam, and I never had Mr. Wilson as a teacher, so maybe that's why I always failed math.
Studying is for losers.
Ain't that the truth?
Mikey compares the final exam to all the questions on the website.
Who's talking right now?
Is everything okay?
Yes, yeah, I just came by to let you know that Jaden got a 100% on his math final.
Hell yeah, my boy Jaden's getting a PS5, which means he can finally play. Well, it's still nice to have. This is great news. If Jaden passed, that means they both got an A, right?
0%? This is an F.
Huh?
That's impossible. I cheated. I studied.
Well, as I was saying, Michael got all of his answers correct. If those answers were from this website that I created.
That sneaky bastard. I knew middleschoolmathanswers.com was too good to be true.
You did?
I did.
All right, and let's use that same exact shot again. Perfect.
There are no shortcuts to success. You have to do things the right way.
That must be the lesson of the video because they put it in the script twice.
There are no shortcuts to success. You have to do things the right way.
Oh, sorry? 3 times, actually.
That's so unfair!
Go to your room. Now. Just wait till I tell your dad about this.
I'm sure he'll be back any day now. As time has gone on, Darman has gotten more and more meta. He loves mentioning people who've made videos about him, like Cody Ko, who actually got to be in one of his videos.
Cody's the new cook here. I'm so sorry, man.
And it was a very inspiring lesson about the importance of being patient.
Look, now I realize that success does require patience. And great things really do take time.
Oh, I quit. Dahar also has characters mention himself a lot.
Today we will be watching a Darman video.
Yes, I love Darman.
Yeah, there's no surprise there. Only nerds and dorks watch Darman.
I like how on one hand you have the self-deprecation of someone being like, Darman's for nerds, but then you also have these other characters defend and compliment him.
All his videos are dumb.
They're not dumb, Billy. They teach important life lessons.
Are you watching Drew Gooden videos? Yeah. That guy is a loser. All he does is film himself pooping and farting all day long, edit it into a little compilation, and then upload it to his OnlyFans. And I happen to like that. I think Drew Gooden is a very cool guy who seems handsome as well and is smart guy. You're right. He is Much awesome. And I couldn't agree more on the handsome part. It actually goes even further than that. You see, in this sketch, Darman is written to be the ultimate celebrity. He is idolized by every single child in this school except for the bully.
Because only losers with no friends watch his videos.
That's not true. I watch Starman. I love all his videos.
Noah even spends his lunch break watching him on YouTube. Side note, I love that instead of just playing a video on the phone, they made the editor mask it onto the phone frame by frame. As a former video editor myself, I can relate to that all too well. Oh, don't you think we should pull up the video? Don't worry about it. We'll fix it in post. What do you mean we? What'd you say? Nothing? Sorry. And take that paper off. You got it, boss. And when Noah's mom comes to pick him up after a long day of ruthless bullying...
Dork!
Psych! She knows just how to make him feel better.
Darman t-shirt. So you see?
Really? Wow. Thanks, Mom. I love it.
That's right, honey. I got you merch. Are you happy now? Yeah, merch make me happy. That's right, merch can cheer anyone up, even the saddest, loneliest boy. You just have to buy a shirt like me, and then you'll be happy. Link in description.
Loser!
Tell me what's going on.
I don't have any friends. And today, I was the laughing stock of the school. You see? Oh, my glasses. My glasses. I can't see.
There you go.
Oh, thanks.
Are you okay?
That's Darman. Some kid at school has been really mean to me. Look, again, I'm really sorry. Darman, I can't believe it's really you. I'm like your #1 fan.
I can't believe it. This is the best day of my life. Wait, why are you standing outside of a middle school? That's kind of weird.
You know, back when I was in school, I didn't even have any friends.
Wait, what? You didn't?
That can't be true. You're Darman. You're the coolest guy ever. We worship you.
What's so funny?
Darman?
In this universe, you are literally our God. You gave birth to us.
Thanks, Noah. I really appreciate that. And you know what? I think you're so cool. I even made you your own limited edition merch.
Holy shit, it's a real shirt. I can really buy it.
I can't believe this. I'm gonna go put this on right now.
I guess my work here is done. If you guys need me, I will be standing in the parking lot, just kind of lurking there. So. It's funny when you start to notice how formulaic every video is, to a T. There's always a scene near the beginning where the adult finds a reason to leave the room so the kids can be mean to each other in peace.
I have to get this. I'll be back. Just give me 1 minute.
I gotta take this.
Next, we're gonna hear from... Sorry, guys, I do have to take this.
No one is calling me. I just have to take my phone outside. And while they're gone, one of the kids will throw out the most basic, uncreative insult at the nerd, and everyone else will laugh hysterically.
You don't have any friends.
Stop it, Paula. It's not nice to beat.
How are you going to beat me when you can't even say a simple word, stuttering Steven?
I do have to say, the set pieces in these videos are immaculate. Even though this classroom sort of looks like your brain's vague interpretation of one while in a dream, it almost seems real with such details as the name of the school on the whiteboard. My teachers would always do that too, just in case we forgot where we were. In this one, Steven and Paula are going head to head in the race for class president.
Because I'm popular and I'm pretty.
It's a real David versus Goliath story. I love their campaign slogans. Vote for Steven to end bullying. Or vote for Princess Paula because I'm the most popular. Her famous quote.
So that's why I think you should vote for me. I'm popular, I'm pretty, plus I'll make sure we have less homework and more movies.
These kids have really lofty goals as class president. Steve wants to arrest all the bullies and Paula's gonna ban homework. Do middle school class presidents actually do anything? Because I feel like this plot is sort of built on the notion that whoever wins is going to be sitting behind a desk all day passing executive orders. No, I said pizza for lunch every day. I guess now that I think about it, the title could be interpreted pretty ominously. Kids make fun of boy and live to regret it. Sounds like he might hire the middle school Secret Service to take care of anyone who called him Stuttering Steven, which, by the way, is a top-tier nickname, and one that's definitely worthy of the laughter that ensues each time it's said.
Stuttering Steven, Stuttering Steven, Stuttering Steven.
This is another one of my favorite Darman tropes. In the last video, Noah was a nerd, so the bully called him
Noah the nerd.
And then there was one with a poor kid named Gordon who bought his clothes from Goodwill.
See you later, Goodwill Gordon.
Goodwill Gordon.
And then there's another bullying video about a girl in a wheelchair named Wendy, and this one's kind of tough, so I'm gonna give you a few minutes to think about it. What do you think her nickname is?
Wheelchair Wendy.
I don't know how he comes up with this stuff.
Homeless Heather.
Jordan the janitor.
This time it's Wendy who's getting made fun of because we've been transported into the Darman universe where everyone is a bully except for the nerds and people with disabilities.
Would one of you mind helping me reach that?
Just because your legs don't work doesn't mean your arms don't work.
She just keeps on roasting Wendy for absolutely no reason and expects Noah, that's right, we got another Noah.
There's Noah. He's so hot.
She expects him to laugh along because he's the football quarterback guy. And that's what football quarterback guys do. But he doesn't, so she's confused until she learns.
Why do you keep sticking up for her?
Because I know what it feels like to be in her shoes. A few years ago, I took a really bad hit. The doctor told me that I wouldn't be able to walk for a really long time. But do you know what hurt even more? How other people would treat me. They'd stop and stare.
Really? He's like... Did you hear about Noah? He suffered a major spinal injury that could leave him paralyzed for the rest of his life. Oh my God. That is very funny to me. To me as well, I am laughing at that.
I know what it feels like to be in a wheelchair. And Wendy doesn't deserve to be treated that way.
So, is the point that if he hadn't experienced that, then the bullying would be okay? Is the lesson that you can only be nice to someone if you can relate to them? Because it almost sounds like Noah would be laughing at Wendy if he hadn't personally been in a wheelchair himself, which I think is kind of flawed logic. You could be nice to someone just because. That's kind of how all these videos go. Another one of my favorites is the trope of the rich kid making fun of the poor kid, and then the parents of the rich kid are like, hey, you need to walk a mile in their shoes, and then they do, and they're like, wow, I never knew it was so hard to be poor. I was spoiled.
Joey takes out an old tablet since his mom took away his new one. Everyone laughs and makes him feel really bad.
I like how in this one, it's established that the Minecraft shirts are new and cool, but the Animal Crossing is so last year.
No way. Look at what you're wearing. Is that last year's Animal Crossing t-shirt? Yeah. Why? No one plays that anymore. We'll play Minecraft.
Minecraft's been around since like 2012. Those could be very old shirts. It is hard to completely make fun of these videos. They can be pretty cringy and the music is always comically intense.
Oh, you have 7 followers on Instagram. And you want to be a YouTuber.
But the intentions are good, so I can't be mad about that. I'm sure there were at least a couple of kids who watched one of these and came away more empathetic towards someone than they were before. And that's great. They're also weirdly addicting to watch because even though you know what's gonna happen at the end of all of them, they always write the bully to be so unlikable that you kind of want to stick around for their inevitable comeuppance.
Never judge a book by its cover. Ooh. Would you look at that? A woman who knows nothing about cars.
As a woman, you may not be able to understand all this.
She's a woman, for crying out loud.
I know as a woman, you probably don't know much about cars.
I actually know a lot about cars.
You're fired.
I guess what I'm trying to say is, Darman, keep up the good work. YouTube just wouldn't be the same without you. And also, please cast me in one of your videos. I could pretend to be a cook. I could knock over an egg. Just give me a shot. Small disclaimer, I do live in Florida. You're gonna have to fly out to me. I will not come to you. That's non-negotiable. Those are my terms. Needless to say, this has been a very inspiring afternoon. I think I'm finally feeling like myself again. And if there's one thing I know myself would do, it would be a branding. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you liked it, please don't say anything because it's gonna go straight to my head. And if you didn't like it, please also don't say anything because it's gonna go straight to my heart. Be sure to tune in first thing tomorrow morning for a brand new video where I take all of my other videos and put a laugh track over them. Bye. Oh my God, the world is so fucked up right now. People in Syria are being murdered. ISIS seems to be unstoppable. And I'm pretty sure the United States is about to go to war. This is terrifying. And what am I doing? How am I contributing to anything? I'm not. I spend all my money on food. And right now, I'm just sitting here on my computer. I'm not even wearing pants. There are millions of people out there right now wearing pants, and I'm not. I could be doing something, anything, but I just choose to do nothing. Does that make me part of the problem? Am I just as bad as everyone else? Wait, holy shit, this fucking guy again? Ugh. Hey guys, I'm back, and I'm ready to bitch. Rick Lax is an online magician whose Facebook page has almost 4 million likes, including apparently 6 of my friends. So we're just gonna get right into one of his videos. Your birth month reveals who you really are. Shocked face, shocked face, shocked face, shocked face, shocked face is the title of this video. Didn't we just multiply by 2? And now we're dividing by 2? But I'll do what you say. 30 divided by 2 is 15.
Subtract your birth month number.
Okay, and now subtract the number we started with. So for me, I would subtract 10, and now I have 5. Okay, so 5. 5 is my random number.
You have to agree that if I get it right, you'll share.
Sure, I'll share this video if you can somehow get it right.
Consider it.
How the fuck did he do that? So I started with 10 and I ended up with 5. Let's try 1, right? 1 times 2 is 2, plus 10 is 12, divided by 2 is 6, minus the original number, which in this case is 1, you get 5. Interesting. Let's try a random number. Let's try June, right? So 6. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 10 is 22, divided by 2 is 11, minus 6 is 5. Huh. It's almost as if you end up with the same number no matter which number you started with. Again, 89 million views. I don't want to write off his entire page as this big scam just because of one video, so let's watch a couple more. What he does is he's very visual, so he's got these colorful cards, not to mention Boobs McGee over here, who is pretty much just in the video to distract the part of your brain that might deduce that all of this is totally phony. You only have to remember one word. Oh, but here's the thing, you can't pick sleepy or hamburger. What does every other word in this sentence have in common? Why did the red cat not see the shy dog eat the dry off the bar? Every single one of them is 3 letters. We're 5 seconds in. I already figured out what the thing is. It's gonna be like, how many letters did your word have? And if I had 3, you gotta share the video. That's what this is gonna be. So, yep, how many letters are in your word? He throws in a bunch of other words that weren't there to make you think, oh, wow, there's so many possibilities to choose from. There's no way he could guess my number, which is 3. In this sentence, instead of every word being 3 letters, there's only one word that's 3 letters. It's obviously May. We picked May. That sneaky son of a bitch. Oh God, I gotta share this one too? Well, I'm a man of my word, so I will. But you're not gonna get me again, Rick Lax. On to the next one, I guess.
I need you to think about how old you were when you had your first kiss.
Let's see, I'm 23 now, so I'm hoping 24? I don't know. Who knows when I'll get it. But for the sake of this one, I'll just go with 24 and I'll cross my fingers next year.
I want you to add 3 to it.
24 plus 3 is 27.
Now here's where things get interesting. If you're a guy, only if you're a guy.
Oh, this one has layers to it.
I want you to add 4.
27 plus 4 is 31.
Only if you're a female, I want you to add 5.
And if you're a girl, you add 5. So, okay, maybe there's some real magic involved.
And now I want everyone to subtract the age of your first kiss.
Is that how all of them are gonna be? You start with a number, but it doesn't matter what number you start with because you eventually just subtract it? I think that might be how all of them are. You're probably assuming that there's a lot of comments that are like, this is a hoax, or comments that explain how he does it. But it's like, everyone, all the comments are like, yeah, he got it right. I can't, how did he do it? This is crazy. I like the journey this guy went on. Age 0 life. Got kissed by God. Wait, what the fudge? He got it right? 2 minutes later after watching the video, what the fudge? Oh, that's so funny. All right, so subtract my kiss age. 31 minus 24 is 7. No matter what age, had I kissed someone at 12, which would have been wonderful, I would have 7 right now. And a girl would have 8. That goes for everyone. It doesn't matter what age.
Everyone multiply your current number by 2.
Boys have 14, girls have 16. That's where we're at.
Subtract 7. Only the females.
I'm gonna guess that he's gonna say, and if you're a guy, subtract by 5.
If you're a guy, then take your current number and subtract 5.
Yeah, I swear to God, I have not watched this video before. I'm watching this for the first time, and it's just, I get what he's doing.
If I somehow can roll the number that you are thinking of right now, you share this video.
I will agree to share this video if you can guess the number 9. But just so you know, I'm pretty confident that you're not gonna just roll. What the fuck, dude? My Facebook friends are gonna see all these posts and think it's a cry for help, or that I'm just having a great Thursday.
You know what to do.
Fuck, I gotta share this, god damn it. Of course, this one about tools has some honky ass country song in the background. 'Cause rednecks like tools. Truck, 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 truck.
Think of one of these objects now.
I'm not even gonna watch the rest of this one because I already figured it out. I can't believe that Reclax would do this to us. I can't believe it. He's lying to us, he's taking advantage of our stupidity, and I'm gonna show you how easy it is by doing my own Reclax impression. Only I don't think this outfit is right. Perfect. Now I look like either a total creep or Dax Flame. Are you ready to be amazed? I'm gonna put up a bunch of photos of random objects. None of them are the same. Just random things. All the photos are different. There's nothing these photos have in common. There's no way I could guess which one you pick, right? So go ahead, pick one. Oh, and if you haven't already, remember to click that like button to lock in your answer. Yeah, hit that like button. Whatever the picture was, I want you to remember that in your head. But I want you to find another place in your brain to simultaneously think of something else. Can you do that? I know you guys are all big goddamn idiots, but I'm sure you can manage to think of 2 things at the same time, right? So you got your word. I also want you to think of the number 2, all right? If you're a boy, think of the number 2. If you're a girl, think of the number 2. And don't forget the thing from before. I know you're an idiot, but please don't forget that. All right, you got your word, which is any word. Doesn't have to be that word. You have the number 2. Now I want you to take that number and subtract 2. Do it now. Subtract 2 from the number only you had. No one else had that number, it was only you. If you got the number 0, forget about it, throw it away. Get rid of the 0. And now think of that word again. You remember that word? Maybe you should have, if you forgot it, maybe you should have wrote it down. That's okay if you didn't. Rewind the video, think of the word again, come back. But remember to like it, remember to share. If you're gonna rewind, you gotta share. You know that. It's time to blow your mind. You see, the thing you were thinking of wasn't a thing at all. It was an dog. Thanks for watching my video. Remember to like, again, comment. I read all your comments, so say whatever you want, really. I don't care. It can be mean. You can hate the video, just click the like button and comment like, fuck you, idiot. I don't care. It's all about quantity, baby. It's not about quality. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'm gonna go eat a sandwich. You know what I should have said? I should have said I'm gonna go do some magic. Hello everybody and welcome back to CBS's new hit show Candy Crush. As always, I am your host, Mario Lopez, and today we're going to be talking about the President of the United States. George Bush is... Oh, wait, hold on, my producer's saying something in my ear. What was that? I was talking over you. Oh, don't talk about politics? Because I don't know anything about politics. That's probably a good idea. Thanks, Dad. Love you. Alright, today we're going to be talking about something else. Welcome back to WatchMojo.com. Today's another fascinating top 10 list about some top 10 stuff. So the other day I was scrolling through YouTube.com, which is a website that, if you didn't know, I created. It's sort of a niche thing right now, but I'm hoping it takes off eventually. But anyway, I was scrolling through the trending page, as I often like to do, and I noticed this video by Looper called What the Cast of Stranger Things Looks Like in Real Life. Now, I was really excited to click on this video. I was a big fan of season 1 of Stranger Things. I'm pretty excited for season 2, but I found myself the entire time I was watching that show thinking, what do these kids look like in real life? Because they're all dressed up in like normal clothes, and they have these like normal hairstyles, and they just kind of look like normal people, which doesn't make sense because no one looks like that in real life. But finally, my prayers have been answered. Someone made a video showing side-by-side comparisons of what these kids look like in the show and what they look like in real life. An excellent resource if you ask me. Let's check this out.
Even though he had stage experience, Gaten Matarazzo...
Okay, hold on. So you're gonna tell me that this kid who's clearly wearing a hat in the show now suddenly in real life doesn't wear a hat? Are you kidding me? Looper, come on. I'm not an idiot. Clearly these are two different people, and I'm not gonna let anybody tell me any differently. Let's check a few more of these out. Come on, Looper, you're playing me for a fool here. You're gonna put these two pictures of two completely different kids side by side and try to tell me that this kid over here who looks like he's upset is the same kid as this kid over here who looks like he's smiling. No one looks like this and then suddenly a few months later looks like this. All right? I'm smarter than this. I'm smarter than you, and this is bullshit. I think we can all agree this was some pretty insightful stuff here, and I know for me personally, next time I watch the show, I'm gonna be watching it completely differently. Looper is one of those pages I feel like everyone has encountered on YouTube at some point or another. They're very similar to WatchMojo.com. Basically, they're pop culture centric videos with very enticing titles. WatchMojo specializes more in top 10 lists. And if you're anything like I am, then a few months ago you spent 3 straight weeks binging top 10 videos because you couldn't stop clicking on them. But after a while, if you've watched as many of them as I have, you start to realize, oh, they're all kind of the same. The commentary isn't really that interesting.
Number 1, cheddar.
A lot of times it's almost like they're doing a school project. They're basically reading the Wikipedia page for something for about 15 seconds while doing a slideshow of like 3 different pictures, and then they go on to number 8. WatchMojo is a powerhouse on YouTube. They've got 15 million subscribers. They post 5 or 6 videos every day. The thing is though, let's do the math for a second. They post 5 or 6 videos a day. Let's say 5 videos a day. They do that every single day, and they've done that for about the past 10 years. So 365 times 10 is 100 million videos that they've ever made. So when you make that many videos, it's inevitable that every once in a while there's gonna be some iffy ones. But I don't wanna focus on the negative. That's just not really what I like to do on this channel. I'm a very positive person, and I love to push positivity in every aspect of my life. So rather than like, I don't know, roast some of these videos, I'm gonna do the opposite and celebrate the most well thought out, interesting, and quite frankly, good YouTube video. This is a brand new segment I'm creating, and I'm calling it Top 10 Lists by DrewGooden.com. Or scratch, don't put that in. Edit that out. Buckle your seatbelts for this one, guys, because coming in hot is Top 10 Soups. Finally, we can all learn which soups are the most good soups.
I hope clam chowder's on the list.
Ooh, this one sounds pretty intense. Top 10 scariest movie shark attacks. Not for the faint of heart, I'm sure, but don't worry all you shark fans out there who love seeing movie shark attacks but don't like the scary ones. We've got something on the lighter side for you. Top 10 hilarious movie shark attacks. Be sure to check that one out. I love that this sounds like an article that like a 13-year-old boy would write. top 10 TV monsters that aren't even that scary. He's real defensive about the fact that nothing scares him. Yeah, I've seen the X-Files, and honestly, it wasn't even that scary. Oh god, top 10 animated kids shows with surprisingly sexy women. Who came up with that? I gotta say, guys, I went into this kids show with very low expectations of becoming horny. But then I watched a little bit, and I gotta be honest, surprisingly sexy women. I love this one. Top 10 video games that should never be adapted to film, so don't even think about it, idiot. If this was in past tense, like if it was top 10 video games that shouldn't have been adapted to film, that's whatever, that's an entirely different list. But the fact that most of these, and I watched the video, most of these are just hypothetical. I love the whole tone of like, nobody should do this. It's like, okay, fine, we weren't going to. Put the gun down, sir. This one sounds fun. Top 10 space danger scenes. Top 10 die already movie scenes. God, these are so specific. Top 10 sultry video game vampires. All right, we are officially halfway through the list, and as longtime fans of the show know, that of course means we're gonna play a game now. Today's game is called, I made up some WatchMojo titles, and I'm gonna say them, and also some real WatchMojo titles, and Amanda has to guess which ones are real and which are fake. .com. So, are you excited to play the game? All right, so do you understand the rules?
No, can you explain them, please?
You were supposed to say yes, because I already explained the rules.
I wasn't listening.
Do you not listen to me? Do you guys know the rules? I can't hear you. Don't talk. Top 10 hilarious workout scenes in movies. Top 10 skimpy female outfits in video games. That one's pretty sexy. Top 10 fifth installments in movies. Not fourth, third. Top 10 most Instagrammable spots in Canada. Top 10 funniest going into labor scenes. And then the last one, top 10 shrinking scenes in movies. I'm assuming that means scenes where the characters shrink in a movie. All right, so start by telling me which ones you think are fake that I made up.
The first one that comes to mind, in my opinion, is the top 10 shrinking scenes, because the only one that I can think of is Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and that's only 2 movies, so I don't know.
They're all real. All these lists are real. Every single one that I said is a real video. It's a real YouTube video. You just got pranked. These two were both posted on the same day. The first one is top 10 most maniacal evil laughs in cartoons. Gotta rank them. You have to. And then 4 hours before that, they uploaded top 10 most exciting escape pod scenes. I love the ones where they're basically just whining. Top 10 reasons why being an adult is the worst. I gotta pay taxes. Top 10 cookies. Top 10 best smelling foods on earth. I guess I don't really get the food ones because like I could understand why you would click on some of these, like the more pop culture geared ones. But when it's just like top 10 foods we like I don't know, what's the point? I feel like maybe they were missing a word from this title. Top 10 celebrity racist comments. How about like top 10 worst celebrity racist comments? Because when you just say top 10 racist comments, it almost sounds like you're a fan of these. This is too positive. Top 10 times our favorite celebs used the N-word, and we loved it. This one isn't that bad because I know what they mean, but top 10 celebrities who have their own alcohol. I'm assuming that means like how Trump has his own wine and that sort of thing, like they have their own brands of alcohol. But I like to picture it more of like something you'd see on Clickhole, like top 10 celebrities who have their own alcohol, and it's like, don't look now, but James Franco was spotted with a 6-pack of Stella. Here's one that's disgusting. Top 5 freaky facts about dolphin sex. Did someone force you to make this video? Like some of these videos aren't even, the ideas aren't that bad, but the titles are so weird. Like they constantly like over-sexualize stuff, but specifically this, top 5 freaky facts about dolphin sex? How about like top 5 weird facts about dolphin sex? Don't make it seem like you're into it. I like the sound of that. Save that. You guys know what that sound means. It is time to crown our winner. And now the moment you've all been waiting for, the #1 top 10 list is top 10 lists. I won. I won! I didn't even know I was nominated.
Surprise.
Dad?
That's right, son.
Dad, I didn't even know you were here.
I'm the producer of the show.
Did you set this whole thing up for me?
You bet I did. Hell, that's what family's for.
Oh, but where's...
I'm right here.
Dad!
Did I miss anything?
I can't believe you're here too!
I'm always gonna be here for you, kid.
Wow, this is the greatest day of my life.
And I wouldn't miss it for the world. Neither would I. Neither would I.
Dad?
We're all here, son.
I can't believe all three of you made it here. Just for me?
Just for you.
Oh gosh, I've got the best 3 gay dads in the world.
Oh, there's one more surprise.
What?
Hello.
Former Vice President Joe Biden?
On behalf of the United States of America, I just wanted to personally congratulate you on your achievement.
Thank you so much, Mr. Former Vice President.
Hello.
Everybody I love is in the same room. I don't think this has ever happened before.
Better get used to it, 'cause we're moving in. We just signed the lease this morning.
I think the only thing that could make this better is if everyone was
Drew.
chanting my name.
Drew.
Thank you so much. Drew. This is the greatest day of my life. I knew it was too good to be true. I've never won anything in my life. Plus, my 3 real dads are straight. Anyway, if you guys were wondering, looks like the real number 1 is Top 10 Olsen Twins. Thank you guys so much for watching. Did you get the shot?
Hey guys, Merry Christmas. Hey, I got a question for you. What 2 things do the following phrases have in common?
That's right. Not only are they bullet points used to describe the plot of a very weird dream I had last night, but they're also actual names of real movies. Look, I love Christmas. That's why we put our tree up on like November 15th. But I will say it kinda sucks that my favorite holiday will forever be associated with something called Santa with muscles. It's absurd. But the reason films like this exist and why they all have such ridiculous titles is because we've simply run out of Christmas movies to make. You could come up with any holiday-related plot right now, make up a title for it, and I promise you, that movie already exists. Like maybe you want to do something like, instead of Home for the Holidays, it's Homeless for the Holidays, right? A guy maybe gets laid off from his job and he's worried he's gonna lose his house, but through the magic of Christmas, oh, they already did that. Okay, well, what if instead it was about these twin girls, right? And one of them's a princess, obviously, and the other one's a baker, but through the magic of Christmas. Seriously? Oh, wait, I've got one. A postal worker. Yeah, no, I thought that sounded familiar. Nowhere is the overabundance of Christmas movies more prevalent than on the various Hallmark channels. That's right, there's 3 of them. But we're currently in the midst of their annual Countdown to Christmas, where they release a new movie every day, despite the fact that you could just watch one Hallmark Christmas movie over and over again and it would be the same experience. But you know what? It doesn't matter what I think about these films because they are a goldmine for Hallmark. I read somewhere that they bring in about $500 million every year just from cranking these things out. It's truly a factory of content, and normally you would look at a process like this and think that something so mass-produced would result in a lack of quality, but weirdly, it doesn't seem to matter with Hallmark movies. You see, unlike other movies, Christmas movies don't necessarily have to be good for people to enjoy them. They just have to make you feel good. They just have to feel like Christmas. And it seems like for a lot of people, all you need to accomplish that is 2 lead actors who meet the threshold for being attractive to fall in love in a random small town. That's Hallmark, baby. The Hallmark movie craze is so crazy that they now do fantasy Hallmark leagues. You know, like fantasy football, but instead of drafting NFL players, you draft, and this is real, a team of Christmas movies. The goal is to pick the movies that get watched the most, and apparently first place gets... Gonna be hard to narrow it down here. There's a lot to choose from. You've got white couple in front of Christmas tree, white couple in front of Christmas tree, and of course white couple in front of Christmas tree. I like how they've completely given up on even trying to make these movies look different. All right, guys, hear me out. I was thinking for the poster, we have the guy wear green and the girl wear red.
Yeah!
Yes!
I love it! Let's do that for all of them!
So I feel pretty good about my team. I think I'll throw double points on the shoe movie because Candace Cameron is in it and she's like the queen of Hallmark movies. Hopefully I can beat this other guy. He's got Patrick Mahomes on his team, so gonna be a tough matchup, but I think I can pull it out. I also just realized I'm like 6 weeks late to this, so even if I pick perfectly, I don't think I'll be catching up to Buster for the win anytime soon. You know what? I'm gonna say it though. This is kind of a cool thing that they put together. I'm not gonna lie. It's incredibly silly, but it's a pretty smart way to get people invested in these movies. It kind of incentivizes people who are already a fan of these movies to just have the Hallmark channel on 24/7. There's a cash prize involved. And they do stuff like this pretty regularly. Earlier this year, I remember Amanda telling me about their March Madness tournament where you could fill it out and vote for the all-time best Hallmark movie. In fact, it was while filling one out myself where I learned that Billy Ray Cyrus has been in not one, but 2 Hallmark movies. The first one, which came out in 2009, is actually a pretty well-received movie that attempted to tackle themes like race relations and maintaining friendships through adversity. And then the second one is about Billy Ray Cyrus falling in love with his son's doctor. The other thing I learned while taking part in this tournament is that Hallmark games are a lot of fun. So I decided to make my own.
That's right, baby. It's time for Christmas Movie The Game, America's most beloved game show, premiering today for the first time. As always, I'm joined today by my lovely wife, Amanda. Amanda, word on the street is you only agreed to do this because I'm driving you to the airport later. Care to comment on that?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. All right, so here's how this game works. Very straightforward. I'm gonna give you 2 movies. One of them is real, one of them I made up. If you guess the one that's fake, you get a point. But if you guess wrong, I get 100 points. And there's only 4 questions, so you really don't want to get one wrong. It's gonna be pretty much impossible to catch up.
Is there a bonus round?
Yes, it's also worth 1 point. They're gonna start off pretty easy, but they get a little bit harder as they go. So let's start. Round 1, question 1. Which one of these is fake? Snow Bride. A tabloid reporter lies her way into getting invited to a family's holiday celebrations and then feels bad after falling in love with one of them. Or is it Snow White? A tabloid reporter lies her way into getting invited to a holiday party thrown by 7 polygamous dwarves and then marries all but one of them. I told you these start off easy and get harder.
You said that?
Yes.
Then I wasn't listening.
Okay, good.
Final answer, Snow White.
Yeah, you're right. That was easy. Any guesses as to which one she didn't marry out of the 7?
I don't know any of the dwarves.
Okay, that's what I thought. That one was easy. This time we're gonna do sequels. Which one of these is fake? Is it A Christmas Story 2 or Santa Paws 3? Return of the Pups.
Well, A Christmas Story is a classic, and I don't think they made a second one.
You don't think they made a sequel? So that's your final answer?
Yes.
They did. They made Christmas Story 2
they did.
in 2012, 30 years after the
All the
first one
same
came out.
people? And the
None of
boy,
this-
but he's older.
Yeah, but he's still a boy. No, they made it with a bunch of different people, and no one watched it. And the people who did, they didn't like it. It has like a 37 on Rotten Tomatoes. So tough break getting the second question wrong, because as I said, they only get harder from here. Round 3 has 3 options. 2 are real, 1 is fake. Which one of these did I make up? Was it Jingle My Bells, a raunchy box office flub where Rob Schneider falls in love with a New York receptionist? Is it Elfman, a superhero movie where an elf saves a scientist from evildoers? Or is it Santa Claus versus the Devil, a title so self-explanatory that I will not explain?
I feel like that one's real.
All right, I'll give you that one. I'll narrow it down to 2. Santa Claus
Okay.
versus the Devil is a real movie. It
Yeah.
came out in the 50s. So is it Jingle My Bells or Elfman? Which one did I make up?
What year was Jingle My Bells?
Oh, I didn't look that up. I think early 2000s.
And how much did it make?
I don't know.
And what was their budget?
And was it real?
Okay, I'm gonna go with Jingle My Bells.
Is fake?
Yes.
Yeah, good job. I made that up. The score is 2 to, unfortunately, 100 just because of the rules of the game. All right, final round. This is sort of a bonus round, but not really because there's no bonus to it. It's just different in that these are not Christmas movies. These are just various productions made by Mar Vista Entertainment, who is behind Christmas Mail, our favorite movie of all time.
I miss it.
Again, there's 3. Which one of these did I make up? Is it Avalanche Sharks? This is a movie about a bikini contest that gets interrupted by a shark avalanche. Is it Skate Boy, a short-lived animated series about a young skateboarder who finds a magical flute that unleashes an ancient evil Chinese wizard? Or is it Doggy Bee? The B is short for boogie. It's called Doggy Boogie, and it's a live-action movie about dancing dogs.
So one of them's fake?
One of them is fake.
Can we watch the other two?
You want me to show you the trailer for the two that are real?
Yes,
So
and then
you
I'll
can-
decide.
I don't think that works. Do
I
it.
feel like the shark avalanche is the fake one.
You think I made up a movie about a bikini contest that gets interrupted by a shark avalanche? But is that your answer?
You giving me reverse psychology?
I'm just giving you good old-fashioned psychology.
Okay, skateboy you made up.
You think I made up something that involves an evil Chinese wizard?
Okay, first one, my final answer.
Avalanche sharks?
Yeah.
Sorry, it's a trick question. They're all real. I know, I mean, I expected to be down 3-0 at this point, so I wanted to cheat my way into a victory, but I didn't have to. 200-2 is the final score. You want to watch the trailer for Doggy B? Thank you so much for coming on this year's show, Amanda. You'll be back next year, right?
Maybe.
Huh?
As always, we here at Christmas Movie the Game would like to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Christmas. All right, let's make fun of some dumbass movies. I will say, it wasn't as easy to find some good ones as it was last year. Last Christmas, I didn't seek out a movie to make a video about. We just found Christmas Mail, and it was so insane, I had to make a video about it. I had never even done a movie review on my channel before that, but as soon as I saw it, it was like, yeah, of course I'm gonna make fun of this. This year, though, has been an entirely different story. I've spent most of December so far watching various Hallmark movies and Mar Vista movies and straight-to-DVD movies, but almost every time it just goes like this. Yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus. What a funny title. This ought to be good. The thing is, there's no shortage of bad movies, and boy have I seen my fair share of them. But a bad movie isn't necessarily interesting just because it's bad. There has to be a certain quality to it that draws you in spite of its flaws. So it's been a bit of a struggle for me to find that perfect bad Christmas movie, but I will be talking about these two. My Dad is Scrooge and Christmas Cupid's Era. Let's start with Dad. This movie has everything. Painfully bad child actors.
I just want Dad to stop being so mad.
I'm a kid.
The voiceover talents of Napoleon Dynamite, and of course, talking animals.
That's where babies come from.
So the first weird scene of this movie is when these four bullies come into a church to make fun of this kid for being in a toothpaste commercial.
It's the big Hollywood star. How about an autograph, Hollywood?
His name is Ollie, so they call him Ollywood.
See you around, Hollywood.
I don't think I get their motive here. Like, I know sometimes kids are just mean and that's all there is to it, but they're like, haha, loser. You got paid to be on television, idiot. Then we make our way home and meet the titular Scrooge dad, who can pretty much be summed up in this one line.
It's Christmas. No, it's Wednesday.
What a savage. Daddy lives up to his name when he forecloses on this old couple's farm right before Christmas in front of his kids, who he doesn't seem to give a shit about.
These are your kids, Evie.
Are they?
So it's pretty obvious they're setting him up for like a redemption arc here, which is kind of flawed because I already hate this guy. I don't even want to see him get better. I want him to lose custody of his kids. I think everyone would be better off. So anyway, all the animals from the farm start talking now for some reason, and the plot finally kicks in when they give the kids this book. Well, I guess they don't give them the book. They just kind of say, here you go, and then the book falls on top of the bed. You may notice it is A Christmas Carol, which is funny that they would give that to him because that's what this movie is. It's just a ripoff of that, but with a talking llama, so it's fun. But this movie does have some comedy in it. Early on, the dog accidentally convinces this guy that he's a ghost, and he just believes him. He believes the dog. And so for the rest of the movie, and presumably for the rest of his life, he thinks he's dead. He thinks no one can see him, and he's just stuck in like a weird afterlife, which is kind of fucked up when you think about it that they did that to him. They kind of ruined his life, but it does lead to some pretty silly moments.
Ghost massage. Floating bacon.
I don't think anyone's laughing right now.
Anyway, they do the whole Ghost of Christmas Past thing, and the dad starts to transform a little bit, but not really. And then there's this scene where he's talking to the mom, and you're supposed to think like, oh, this is cute, they're flirting, maybe they'll get back together, but it's just really awkward.
That? Oh, yeah, that's a smile. Is this the old Evie coming back?
You're a crazy person, so this is how crazy people start, so.
You're insane. Don't touch me.
Oh, mommy, daddy love each other again.
Well, I don't think I understand this next scene. Is this little girl flirting with a goat?
Dropped your tail.
Thanks, Judge. I love you.
All right, settle down. It's just a tail.
All right, nope, I'm done. Time for Christmas Cupid's Arrow. So this movie is about a dating app called Cupid's Arrow, and it's Christmas time, so Christmas Cupid's Arrow. That's how they came up with the title. You always know a movie's gonna be good when there's like 9 different production companies involved. ITN Distribution, and also The Wonder Film as well, and Lighthouse Pictures, of course. Oh, and Shivik Entertainment, Kalispell Films, okay. Free Dolphin Entertainment. What is going on? So the main woman's friend is trying to get her to find a boyfriend, so she makes an account for her on this dating app. So she gets a couple matches, and there's a montage where she's going on dates with 3 of them. And there's no subtlety in this movie either. Like, all 3 of these guys are just over the top awful.
Do you mind if I order the steak? Why would I mind? Just wanted to make sure you could afford it.
And you're paying for this, right? Because I'm a bad guy. I'm not gonna pay for it.
What do we get when you cross the engine from a 67 Harley, Ducati forks, and carbon fiber?
I like motorcycles. But I don't really care about any of that because the real star of the movie is this guy. This is a really great scene when we meet his daughter.
What's a date?
A what?
A date.
Where did you hear that from?
Who the fuck told you about dates? It's not like she was like, Dad, what's a dick? She's asking about dates.
A date is when 2 grown-ups go out and they have fun together.
Like the zoo?
Yes.
Or the movies?
Yeah.
Or the movie?
Yeah.
Do you go on dates?
No, I don't go on dates right now.
Why not?
Because I already have a pretty lady in my life.
Why did he say it like that? So weird.
That's right, it's you.
Don't worry, I'm almost done. This is the last scene I'm going to show you. This is what made me want to talk about this movie. This awkward ass exchange between that guy and the girl from earlier. They both work at the same school and kind of know each other, but it really accelerates when they find out they're the only 2 people on this party planning committee.
Just us?
Oh,
I wasn't.
My vote is to have it be formal but not black tie, because that way women don't feel forced into wearing long gowns. It's kind of fun to wear something short.
Yeah, I would always err on the side of wearing something shorter as opposed to longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think skirt. I like skirts.
Tell me one bad Christmas song.
Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas by Paul McCartney is the worst song ever.
Okay, first of all, Sir Paul McCartney.
Oh, well, that's,
And he gets a pass. He wrote Yesterday, All Sins Are Forgiven.
No, he didn't. John wrote Yesterday. Yes.
Planet you on. No,
The planet that the
It is
Beatles-
Paul. It is Paul.
Oh, all right.
It is Paul, and I feel so sad that you don't know that.
We're going to have to agree to disagree.
I guess
I'm
so.
right.
Okay.
But,
I'm down.
Is this flirting? I'm almost 100% certain that this whole scene was improvised, because who would write this?
I'm sorry, did you just make an It reference?
Yeah, I've seen the movie.
Oh, okay. Did you read the book?
Yeah, when I was a kid. You?
Yeah, I read a couple of his books.
Which ones?
Oh, let me think. All of them twice.
He is the reason that I read as a child. He was my everything.
Yes, me too.
Obsessed with him.
Totally.
Stephen King is the reason you read as a child? What fucking kid is reading Stephen King books?
All of them twice.
All right, I'm not gonna bore you with the rest of the movie. It's not good. And I don't think I can watch another second of it. I think my personal journey I went on this month through dozens of hammy Christmas movies only to determine that these 2 are the best I could find has more than anything else just made me realize how special Christmas mail is. It's the kind of thing that only comes around once in a lifetime, and it's important we grab onto it and celebrate the joy that it's brought us all. And go rewatch my video. And I think ultimately, while stories of unexpected love and the rekindling of family bonds are nice, for me they just don't quite capture the true essence of Christmas. Consumerism. Have fun and drink milk. This video was sponsored by milk. Merry Wednesday, everybody. Hey guy, welcome back to the middle of the ocean. Uh-oh. I don't know how to swim. So I made a couple videos over the years about a YouTube channel called Brat TV, which thanks to Charlie XCX has gotten much harder to find lately. I'm glad you guys are enjoying your Brat summer, but I'm trying to watch Attaway General. If you're not familiar with Brat TV, or you're like me and you forgot about it for 3 years until finding out they have their own channel on the Samsung TV Plus app, it's a bunch of overly serious 10-minute soap operas filmed like Darman videos, performed by a bunch of actors that only got hired because they have a lot of TikTok followers. Or at least they used to hire famous TikTokers. I can't tell if they stopped doing that or if I'm just too old now to recognize anybody. But I think they're just hiring regular actors, which is good because the acting has gotten better, but bad because nobody's watching these shows anymore. The whole business model before was like, hey, what if Dixie D'Amelio pretended to be a doctor? And now it's just, hey, what if the Disney Channel was worse? There's not much of a reason for people to stick around now, and it's unfortunate to see such a beloved institution fall from grace. But the only reason I'm making another video about this channel is because I recently discovered that for the past couple of years, they've been doing what I would describe as the funniest and most obtrusive product placement I have ever seen in my life. The first show I noticed this on was something that's honestly pretty hilarious in its own right. It's a series called Good Luck Have Fun, and it's about an esports team that has a big tournament coming up. But I guess because they didn't have the rights to any real games, they invented a new one for this. But I don't think the writers even came to a single conclusion about how this specific game is played, because most of the script is just a hodgepodge of vague gamer lingo that never sounds natural.
I'm an Orc Barbarian main. I play mid.
Elle's a mid too, except she's the Slayer.
Yeah, we only need one mid.
Talk champ. Kiting. I got a one shot. I got a Warlock pushing up.
Give me heals.
This lock is cracked. Talk champ.
Using my AoE for some DPS. They're smurfing? They're griefing? This dude's cranking 90s like I didn't just pull aggro.
I love when shows write about video games and it's clear they just tried to shoehorn in as much terminology as they could.
What did they do to you? They leveled up.
This old episode of Law & Order is a work of art. In the beginning, Ice-T hates campers.
Damn campers.
What's a camper?
They're all pieces of crap.
But in the end, he wins by camping.
You camping back there? Bad form, but effective.
Talk about character growth. Also, any guesses as to who the villain in this episode is?
Not like shooting a video game, huh? Actually, it's exactly the same.
Yeah, it's Logan Paul.
Don't talk, officer! Prepare to be slaughtered.
I've made a severe...
Now, for the most part, Good Luck Have Fun is just your standard brat show. A bunch of 21-year-olds pretending to be 15-year-olds saying dialogue written by 40-year-olds. So there's a lot of silly drama. Jane likes Tyler, but she keeps embarrassing herself in front of him.
I'm not like stalking you or anything.
Okay.
But lucky for her, he doesn't mind, as long as she's not like a gamer or anything.
No, I'm genuinely interested in getting to know you.
We used to be on the same esports team until...
You do esports?
I used to before I realized it was stupid to care about stuff that wasn't real sports.
Oh, okay, good. For a second, I thought you were a fucking dweeb. I love when Tyler and his stepbrother Brandon have this very heated exchange.
Hey, who was your friend yesterday?
Jane?
She's pretty. Way too pretty to be hanging out with you.
Yeah, I don't think you're her type, man. She likes guys who actually have a brain.
Are they gonna kiss?
You jealous or something?
He looked down at his lips. He wants to, but he can't. So he has to go blow off steam with his basketball that has tape over the brand name. But that's kind of the underlying theme of the show. Nobody's living their truth. Jane doesn't want Tyler to know she plays video games, and Eleanor doesn't want anyone to know that she's a lesbian. Two problems that are portrayed as equally difficult to deal with.
I really like you, Jane.
There's so much you don't know about me.
Like what, are you like an axe murderer?
Worse, I'm a gamer.
Worse than axe murderer?
Is there anything else I should know?
I'm actually really good at basketball.
Wow.
Also, I changed how I dress for you.
Wow.
Also, sometimes I'll tell people I'm on my way, even though I haven't left my house yet.
Wow. I already told you, Jane. I don't like liars.
Fuck. I blew it.
Real life has real consequences, unlike those games you two play so much.
Oh, now I get it. They really try to have it both ways in this show, where playing totem snatchers is the most degenerate thing someone can do, But also, everybody in this town except for Tyler is good enough to play it professionally. So it kind of seems like he's the problem. It's also really funny to me that they try to use the classic bully trope with this girl, even though it's in the context of what is essentially League of Legends. Like every time they lose, Mia comes over and taunts them with random gamer words.
Oh, what's wrong, noobs? Did I debuff your pug champ?
So anyway, that's the show in a nutshell. Pretty normal stuff for about 3.5 episodes. And then, out of absolutely nowhere, this happens.
I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. We need to be focused on the tournament, and everyone's too busy being in love. It's a mess, I tell you. A mess.
Freaking out? Maybe you just need a Snickers.
And then they just kind of watch her chew on it until she calms down. Well, shit, that was incredibly jarring and unexpected. Back to the show, I guess.
Go, 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 go.
Guiding, guiding.
One shot, one shot, one shot. I got game.
Nice, they're gaming again. I love that. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I guess this scene itself wasn't enough, so they had to throw in some giant text on the screen too. Very subtle. It almost snuck right past me. I would love to know what's written into their contract, because every time they do one of these, they just stand there silently chewing for like 10 seconds. Do you think there was a more subtle version of this at some point, but Snickers came back and demanded it became more integral to the plot?
You're not feeling like yourself. Maybe you just need a Snickers.
So at this point, I was pretty intrigued by the current state of Brat TV, and I wanted to see how often they were doing these ad breaks in the middle of scenes. So I started watching another show called Two Christmases, and it's a really touching mini-series about parents going through a divorce and the effect that has on their children who have to adjust to this new life and all the complications that come with it. And, sorry, I got distracted. Oh yeah, it's a beautiful show about how even a day as joyful as Christmas can be filled with stress and frustration when you're going through such a big life change. Are they gonna do this the whole time? Yeah, no, it does seem like they're gonna be doing that the whole time. Dude, I thought the Snickers show was bad. This entire series is built around how much gum this family chews. Heading out the door, can't forget my gum. Having any conversation, gotta pull out my gum. About to drink hot chocolate, better put some gum in my mouth first, because that's what I do before I eat and drink. It makes everything taste better, and sometimes I accidentally swallow it.
It's my number one, yeah, my favorite holiday.
I had no idea how common this extremely conspicuous product placement had become. It's in almost every series from the past few years. These poor actors have to just keep doing commercials in the middle of dramatic performances, and it's so funny to me every time.
I couldn't get through the day without Starburst. How are they so
The
good?
human brain finds sweet fruits, such as berries, pleasurable.
There's one season of The Chicken Girls that's presented by the Little Mermaid movie, and I was so excited for this one. It's such a serious show for some reason.
Congratulations.
Like, unbelievably serious.
You think we still have a chance at states? With Xander gone?
I just know he's gonna make a full recovery. He has to.
I'm not so sure about that.
What did they do to Xander? So because of the tone, I was fully expecting a scene like this.
Hey, could I talk to you about something?
Just one second. I'm almost done watching the trailer for the new Little Mermaid movie. It's a live-action modern spin on the animated Disney classic, starring Halle Bailey and Melissa McCarthy. I think I'm gonna pre-order my tickets on the Fandango app, so I can make sure I get good seats on opening night, May 8th. Now, what was it you wanted to talk about? My grandma died. But that didn't happen. They just did a pre-roll ad. Like cowards. But I did skip around some of these episodes, and I gotta say, I love this line.
Unless you have an empty house lying around, this is my best option for now.
I think I might have something for you. My mom's a realtor.
Oh my gosh, of course. I'm not exactly the kind of prospective buyer she's looking for.
Who said you have to buy a house to live in it?
The government? I don't know. It's just one of those rules.
Hey, could you get out of my house, please?
Nope.
I learned on the Chicken Girls that I don't have to.
Oh, okay.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm trying to watch The Little Mermaid.
It's a live-action modern spin on the animated Disney classic.
Can everyone settle down, please? All right, class has started. We're gonna be watching a movie today.
There's also a season of the Chicken Girls where they keep going to this cafe and ordering Cinnamon Toast Crunch, as one does at a restaurant.
What do you think an order?
Yeah, sorry, I'm kind of craving.
How about Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
But I guess because just eating the cereal wasn't enough, they had to turn it into its own plot point where this girl can see the future in the cinnamon dust.
When your Cinnamon Toast Crunch and milk mix together, you stare really hard. You can see the future.
Why don't you go outside, kid?
They also did a game with Cinnamon Toast Crunch called Sip or Spill, which historically is done with alcohol. Like, you either have to answer this personal question or you gotta take a shot. Only in this one, instead of drinking, he just had to have one bite of cereal. So there aren't exactly like crazy stakes here, but man, he is gonna be so full after this because these are some hard-hitting questions.
What's your favorite part of Cinnamon Toast Crunch? I get this question a lot.
You do? I love the comments that are like so close to catching on to the fact that this entire thing is just an ad. It's less him and more cereal. Why is that? Kind of makes you wonder if they should even be allowed to do ads like these if their target audience is not old enough to comprehend that they're being advertised to. But that's not up to me to decide. I just want to laugh at how stupid this all is. And if you can believe it, everything I've shown you so far is still just the tip of the iceberg. And as much fun as I'm having so far, just the two of us, I thought it would be a little bit more fun to bring in my friend Danny to show you guys the rest. Hello, Danny. Thanks for coming to my channel.
I'm excited to be here.
Have you heard of the YouTube channel Brat TV?
This isn't like the YouTube channel that had those like TikTok stars.
It is.
Have you done a video about this channel before?
Yeah, I'm doing another one.
Okay, then I have.
But specifically, Brat has been putting these hilarious, conspicuous product placement ads within their shows. And so I came up with a little game for you where I'm gonna show you the beginning of a scene and you have to guess what the product is that they're about to advertise.
Ooh, okay.
I think it's gonna be a lot of fun and good luck.
I love it.
He loves it.
This is all the validation Drew needed for this video idea.
Whoa, girl, that is amazing. Are those choreography ideas?
Yeah, I've always wanted to be on varsity, and I think these would give me a leg up next year.
How can you even focus in here? It's so loud.
All right. She said, it's so loud. How can you focus? What's she pulling out that bag?
Maybe she's gonna pull out noise canceling headphones?
That's a good guess. I played this with Amanda. She said the same exact thing.
Really? Okay. Yeah, I guess great minds think alike.
Don't say that about my wife. Think nothing like her.
I said she had a great mind.
Keep that to yourself, man.
Are you jealous because you thought of something else and now you're worried that her mind and mine are more great than yours?
Yeah, I thought she was gonna pull out like a sword.
How can you focus in here?
Okay, is that your answer? You can lock that in?
It could also be some kind of caffeinated beverage. How can you focus? What is that energy drink? Celsius or something, yeah.
Yeah, she's pulling out a Celsius. Those are great guesses. I'll let you have both of those guesses because they're both wrong.
Extra refreshers. It's my go-to hack when I need to chew away distractions around me to try and focus.
Minty fresh and mighty focused.
Minty fresh and mighty focused.
It works that fast?
Yeah, as soon as you put it in your mouth, all distractions are out and you can only hear yourself chewing.
She can't even see the other girl anymore.
Her nose is bleeding. She's like, what the fuck happened? All right, well, that's the first one. Good job. You have, well, not good job. You had 0 points. Bad job.
Well, you don't need to say it so mean. It sounds like you're mad at yourself for saying good job and you're taking it out on me.
That's mostly what it is. I want you to lose because we're competing against each other.
Wait, I didn't know that.
And I'm winning so far.
You put this together.
Danny, if you want to win, make your own competition. This is my channel. I have 1,000 points.
Okay, well, I've got a pretty good strategy for next time then. I'm just gonna ask you to say your guess first, and then I'm just gonna go with your guess.
All right. You've outsmarted me yet again. This next one, they're in a coffee shop.
Oh, there's one thing I forgot. These are a fan favorite among the customers, so always make sure the display is full.
All right, Danny. Full of what?
Probably not, like, coffee beans or something. That wouldn't really make a lot of sense.
No, I don't think coffee's trying to advertise on the Brad channel.
And what was your guess again?
My guess was a sword again. I guess sword every time.
Okay.
I don't get any points for the questions. I get them all wrong. I came into the game with 1,000 points, and you only get 1 point per question.
Right.
And what was your guess again?
I think it's got to be some big name brand, since the last one was Extra, which is a very popular gum brand. I'm gonna say Doritos.
That's a very good guess. Let's see.
Can't keep people from their Takis.
I love these Takis Intense Nacho Roll Chips. They're not hot and insanely cheesy.
That was a good guess.
Doritos, very good guess. I'm gonna give you half a point for that.
Oh, sick. I'm gonna catch up to you in no time. How many questions are there? Did you say like 2,000 or 3,000?
There's exactly 2,001 questions, and if you keep getting half a point, we can tie.
Okay.
SOS.
Let me guess. You forgot to get Bella a birthday present?
What am I gonna do?
Well, what's the one thing she loves the most?
Me?
Good try, but I'm talking about you.
What's she talking about?
So is this his girlfriend or something?
Yeah, I think it's his girlfriend's birthday. He forgot to buy her a gift, so he goes to the empty classroom where this girl's just like on her laptop. She has a gift basket prepared. What is in the gift basket?
What would she really like? I'm gonna guess Degree brand deodorant.
Weirdly, a very good guess again. You're like getting so close.
I'm talking about EOS. This vanilla cashmere body lotion is her favorite.
Kind of like Degree deodorant, but it's actually EOS Vanilla Cashmere Body Lotion, which the judges would have only accepted if you said in its entirety, even if you just said EOS lotion.
I would have had to know the exact flavor. In fact, maybe even the SKU number.
Yeah.
The judges would have accepted the SKU.
Well, they're looking up the answer from the SKU number. Like, I have it written down as the SKU, and then they're like, body lotion, yeah, got it. Damn, still no points except for that half point.
Have we looked in the basket and seen, is there any native deodorant in there? It could be underneath the EOS vanilla.
If there's native deodorant in there, you don't get any fucking points for that. You said Degree.
Oh, fuck. I can't even remember what I said.
Whoa, it feels so soft. Oh, it smells delicious.
I think I like it because of the intense cheesy flavor.
We need to be focused on the tournament, and everyone's too busy being in love. It's a mess, I tell you. A mess.
All right, this is a two-part question. What product is he gonna give her? And number two, what he will say when he gives to her.
Well, she's saying it's a mess, so I thought with that sly, clever little look, he was gonna pull out some Bounty paper towels and say, oh, maybe we should clean it up, and then he starts wiping her.
No.
But that's not my guess,
Okay.
That was just a little joke.
Jeez.
My real guess is she needs to calm down.
Yeah.
He's gonna give her a Nintendo Switch with Minecraft on it.
Okay.
He's gonna say, you need to unwind in the Minecraft world. You can place blocks and find gems.
In Minecraft for Nintendo Switch.
Only for Nintendo Switch.
Freaking out? Maybe you just need a Snickers.
That one, I should have seen that coming. Wait, how quickly did she unwrap that thing?
How did she do that? It's like fully closed. She just ripped the top right off. And what do you think that show's about?
Is this all from the same show?
No, these are all different shows.
Oh, okay. That show is about high school. Right?
It's a pretty general guess, but I can't say you're wrong.
Okay.
It's about a specific team that they're a part of.
And is this, well, I get a correct point if I...
I'll give you 500 points if you get it, yeah.
I think they're on the chess team.
No, the esports team.
Esports, really?
Yeah, they play totem snatchers.
Well, hey, I got it right in the sense that they're a bunch of nerds.
True that. Okay, you get 300 points then. What do you keep looking at?
Sunday's gonna be so proud of me. She's following along down there, so she... Oh, you can't see her. Oop, can't. Oh shit, now the desk is in the way. She's down there, man, trust me.
So this one, I'm not gonna show you the clip first. I'm just gonna describe what the show is, because they do a cut to a wide shot that's so funny. I want you to see the whole scene in one go. It's a show about witches at a camp, I think. To be honest, I did not watch very much of this one. So just try to think of a product that would be integrated seamlessly in a show about like magic.
Maybe like candy, like pixie sticks.
Pixie sticks.
Kind of magical food.
That's a pretty good guess. I'm not gonna let you guess again because it's funny how close you're getting every time. You're so adjacent to the answer every time.
She is a light witch, but her magic is somehow linked to the underworld. She's a beacon for dark forces. Meaning? Meaning...
They don't talk about the starburst, they're just there.
If you're a good little witch, you better eat your starburst. Otherwise, you're an evil witch, and you're somehow linked to the underworld.
Yeah, if you eat pixie sticks, you're an evil witch.
And I've known that all my life.
I would never touch a pixie sticks because I'm not evil.
I would never touch a pixie stick.
Shit, I mean, I didn't say that.
That chaos demon? was only the beginning.
Starburst, unexplainably juicy.
Okay, so to recap, so far you have 301 points. You got 2 half points, and then I gave you 300 for something. I don't remember what it was.
Because I guessed that they were involved in some kind of nerdy extracurricular.
Yeah, because you called them dweebs, and I liked that.
Because we're both jocks.
So this one, I'm gonna spoil. It's Starburst again. So the question isn't
Starburst. I think I get a point for that.
10 points for that. But the question is not what brand it is.
Starburst.
The question is, how is she going to distribute the Starburst?
We're allowed to have snacks in here, right?
Only if there's enough to go around.
How will she give everybody Starburst?
Because there's only 4 Starbursts, but there's 8 people in the class.
Is this the show about witches?
No, this is a show about a girl who built a robot that looks like a human boy, but the boy talks like a robot, and the whole show is about him trying to convince everyone he's a human.
Okay.
And it's sponsored by Starburst.
Maybe she's gonna use the robot boy, and he's gonna have, does he have like Inspector Gadget type?
Yeah, he snips it up,
Yeah.
he tosses them around the room, everybody catches it in their mouth.
I think she's gonna use science. Can I say that? Is that a vague enough answer?
That's a perfectly vague answer, and to be honest, a correct answer. That's another 200 points.
Should be enough juice in these Starbursts for the whole school.
She just squeezed the Starburst and there's that much juice in them?
And all the kids line up with cups to drink the juice.
Oh wow, there's even like a title card.
So the thing with this one is, the Starburst is like written into the plot. They're doing this thing where everybody eats Starburst and they like read their mind. That's like part of the show.
They go into their minds and they're just thinking like, juicy, so much juice.
That is literally what they're drinking, yeah. I think it's just like, how do we say things about this product? How do we get our talking points out in the show? Well, everyone could just be thinking how freaking juicy and delicious they are.
Wow, this Starburst is so juicy.
You gotta see, they did this one kid so dirty. Listen to what the teacher's thoughts sound like and then compare that to what these kids' thoughts sound like.
Makes you think of Halloween time, fall air. Janet and I stealing Starburst from the kids' Halloween stash when they went to bed.
So pretty normal, just like thinking about Starburst. And this is what this dumb little boy is thinking.
Candy's good. Starbursts are so good. Makes me happy. Yes, tummy feeling nice.
Yes, tummy feeling nice.
It felt a little fucked up because there's another girl they do it too and she's just like,
I bet kissing Trey would be juicy too.
and then he's just like, candy tasty.
Yes. Yeah, it seems like it's just a Starburst show that happens to have a B plot going on about a robot. And I'm gonna be honest, like it kind of is working. I might actually go buy Starburst after this. I want the juice, I want the flavor.
I want something that tastes so good that I can't even think coherent thoughts anymore.
Chewy juice and mighty focus.
I also want to show you the way this guy talks because he's a robot.
I think I desire to kiss her back.
Wait, what? Trey, you can't kiss Kimmy?
Why did you give me lips then? What is the point in attempting human consciousness if I cannot experience love?
She brought him to life and he's just like, yeah, but what is the point?
I also like that he's trying to convince people he is a human, but then he's like, you should have made me with no lips. People would look at me and say that's a regular guy.
So I think you got 200 points for
I
that?
think I think you said 200,000.
Okay. Probably not a very tight race anymore because I still have just the 1,000 that I came in with. I haven't gotten any more.
Yeah, but it's anyone's race at this point. I'm sure you can still get points.
Yeah.
If you come up with a really cool idea or something, I would reward you points for that.
Oh, thank you. That's very nice of you. And they come from your points?
I had some points that I was hiding at the beginning that you didn't know about, so they'll come from my secret stash.
Okay, and how many are there?
I'm not gonna tell you.
I don't really have a game for this last one. I kind of just want to show you this whole episode in full. I guess I'll have you guess what the product is, but it's gonna be pretty obvious within like the first shot. So anytime you want to guess, feel free to. You can save your guess for later, for when you're more sure, or if you want to just jump the gun and guess right away.
Legos. Mario.
Yep, it's Lego Mario.
Well, that is pretty impressive when you think about it, because Mario was not shown on the screen, right? It was only Princess Peach.
My dumbass would have said Lego Princess Peach. I'd lose 1,000 points for that. I'd have 0 points right now.
Yeah.
So luckily I didn't say that.
All right, everyone. 45 minutes left. 45 minutes left.
So going with the theme of the other one, pretty much every Brat show is about a competitive team that's like hyper specific to one activity. This show is about a Lego Mario building competition.
Looking good.
Room for one more?
What are you doing here?
Come help my girls out.
Look who it is.
Can you not see we're in the middle of something right now?
Can you see how fucking busy we are?
2 coaches are better than 1.
Yeah, but is that even allowed? I mean, we're already pushing it with you on.
That didn't make me want to play Lego Mario. That made it seem really stressful to play with Lego Mario. We're here for moral support. Can't you see I'm fucking busy? This is the most important day of my life with Lego Mario.
25 minutes left.
What are you doing? We don't have time to just stand around.
25 minutes left. How much did they start with?
I think he said 45 minutes left, but they had pretty much built everything. 20 minutes later, it's exactly the same.
I know, but I'm just trying to figure out if we should put Iggy's Keep before or after Biggerton Roller Coaster.
After. You get triple the coins. Now stop talking and help me figure this out.
Help me figure this out. I don't get it. Who the fuck is Mario?
They mentioned at one point this is the varsity team. I love the implication that there's another like lesser division of Lego Mario building.
Yeah, they can't even figure out how to get the Legos to stick together. They can't stack them right.
They're choking on them.
7, 6. Hurry, put it in there.
So there was 45 minutes left. There was 25 minutes left. Now there's 5 seconds left.
And there's this ominous echoing voice counting down.
Blasting from the PA system.
Time's up. All teams, please put down your sets.
0 points, no Mario.
They didn't even try. They didn't even fucking build anything.
Is the point system just a thumbs up or a shake of the head from the judge?
A little smile, that's kind of in between. That's like 5 coins.
Yeah, I guess you did a good job.
I don't know about the decisions in my life that have led me to be judging a Lego Mario competition, but good job, I guess.
I'm not a teacher here. I don't even have kids that go to this school. I just sort of got roped into this.
Time for the runs. Each team member will have 60 seconds to run their level, and the team with the most coins wins.
Kill that thing.
Come on, Simone. You have 20 seconds. You can do this.
20 seconds to do what?
I can't do it. I can't.
I'm folding under the pressure of just like...
What's going on? I don't know. I must be doing it wrong.
Doing what wrong?
Keep going.
I could tell you one thing. They're doing a great job of making this look fun, man. Everyone's having fun in this scene.
Screaming about the time limit.
Yeah, I definitely understand the objective and what it is you do with the Lego Mario.
He's got to get coins, which he does by killing everyone else and stomping on their corpses.
I'll tell you one way you can make me care about this. Juice him at the end. I want to see how much juice is in that guy.
I bet way less juice than Starburst.
Time's up.
They're not even doing it fast either.
Over 260 coins?
Please put down your set and await your score.
Sorry, guys. I don't know what happened.
It's okay. You were pretty good for a beginner.
No, she wasn't.
No,
she could have done way better than that.
Yeah, you could have done better. You don't even know how the game works. You know, it's easy to watch from afar and judge, but you don't know the pressure they feel in that room. Stadium full of people watching them. Teacher walking around, barely gives a shit.
And I have a feeling that this means more to them than just the score. You know, there's friendships at stake on the line.
Yeah, no, there's none of that. This show's just about Lego Mario.
Oh, okay.
They're not like friends. It's not about like friendship or anything.
They don't even know each other.
They don't know each other. It's just about Mash and Peach.
What was that?
What was what?
You were about to win, but then you didn't.
I just felt like you guys deserved it more.
I guess she threw the competition.
Yeah, that sounds like something a loser would say to make themselves feel better about losing.
I love also, did you hear how excited he sounds to announce the winner?
With the coins from each team tallied, we have a winner. Team Toad.
Oh,
Team
Team
Toad.
What do you say to a friendly run, just for fun? You're on.
Yeah, you thought that the competition being over would mean no more Lego Mario, but now they just do it for fun.
And they're gonna put them together? That's gonna be double the coins! So maybe the lesson they're learning is that Lego Mario's not about how many coins you can get for that stinky old judge. It's just about having, it's about how many coins you can get when you just put the two together.
Yeah, it's not a show about like friendship and growth through adversity. It's just about if we put all our Legos together, we could get so many coins.
What's this now? In loving memory. It's a shame what the Koopas did to them.
I guess we'll tally up the total now. And what was your secret stash?
Oh, that's right. Let me check. I had it right here. Says I have 1 billion secret points in this stash.
And how many do I get?
You can have 10, 20. I'll give you 20.
All right, thanks Danny.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I've been meaning to watch this channel for a while, but I was worried because I didn't want to have to skip through all the story just to get to the good parts. So thank you for just taking the time to edit those out for me, so I could only see the good parts.
Gotcha. Yeah, I thought you were talking about my channel, and I thought you were saying finally I can skip to the good parts, which is the parts you're in.
Yeah, you do a lot of collabs with this other YouTuber that I watch, Danny. So I was just waiting for you to do that, and now it's really cool seeing him like right there.
You must be starstruck getting to see your favorite YouTuber, Danny Gonzalez.
That's one word for it.
You got a boner.
That's another word for it.
Okay.
Hi, welcome back to Circuit City headquarters. Sorry I haven't uploaded in a few weeks. I sat down in my moon pod and could not get back up. Lucky for me, it's the world's least comfortable chair. I would set it on fire, but I'm afraid he'd survive and attempt to retaliate. Anyway, y'all ever heard of TikTok? Of course you have. Maybe you've also heard of a show on Netflix called The Circle. Well, Awesomeness TV, the production company behind almost every Noah Centineo movie, has decided to combine those two things into the world's first, and hopefully last, TikTok star reality show. I say it's similar to the show on Netflix because it's also a competition based on social rankings, but where The Circle has people catfishing and anonymity and using hashtags and text conversations, the Awesomeness TV show is just a bunch of 19-year-olds yelling at each other.
You're ugly anyways. That's why Coley doesn't even want to you.
Even better, they're all from Florida.
This is Project 305, a group of friends and creators from Miami who have one common goal: be the next big influencer. Sounds easy enough, right?
Yes. And don't you dare try to tell me it's not.
Over the next 10 episodes, each of the members have to prove they have the creative chops of an influencer and the personality traits to go with it.
All right, guys, this won't be easy. You're gonna have to prove that you have the personality of a TikTok influencer. Do you think you can handle that? Perfect.
Yo, what's up? My name is Owen. I am the best person in the house. I'm the best looking, I'm the most outgoing, and I am the most fun.
I already regret this. This next guy is actually pretty cool. He's my favorite.
My name is Raul Ancio. I'm 19 years old. I'm still a full-time med student. I'm a content creator for the same reason I want to become a dentist, to bring people confidence through their smile.
What a nice guy. He does not belong in this house. Everyone else is like, yo, I'm here to make TikToks and get my dick sucked. And Raul's just like, hey, can you guys keep it down? I got dentist homework.
I brought all my energy drinks, 2 suitcases of candy. I got like packets of sugar.
She brought packets of sugar?
This morning, everyone had eggs. I had 9 bags of sugar.
Oh, right, because she eats them for breakfast. Why did I even ask?
Everyone head to the living room.
It's time to meet your host.
What?
Oh shit, time to see who the host is.
Honestly, I feel like it's gonna be like Brent Rivera or like Nikki and Gabby or something like that.
Either Brent Rivera or Ben Asler.
It might be Brent.
Come on, Brent.
Ah!
Surprise! Yo, Alex?
Daddy Alex?
I feel like I should know who this person is based on their reactions, but I don't. Where this show really shines, though, is in the competitions. These newborn babies are ruthless competitors. The first one is kind of lame, though. They just had to guess what other people's answers to personal questions were. Things like pet names, that sort of thing.
Her pet's name is Mouse, and it's a mouse. That's so dumb.
Really, it was just an excuse to push them into the pool in slow motion. But guess who wins?
Raul! I won?
That's right. My boy Raul. Of course, the nicest guy in the house won this competition because he's a good listener. And what's his prize? he gets to ask the host for advice. And what advice does he want?
And I just wanted to hear if you have any tips for me about how to connect with people and form lasting bonds with them.
He just wants to know how to make friends. What a good person. What a wholesome guy. Maybe these people aren't so bad after all.
The boys tonight are wearing flannels tonight. We're looking fly. We're looking cute.
Flannel bros! Flannel bros, let's get it.
And we're back. So they've been here for like 20 minutes and there's already drama.
She's scared Shady's going.
This is the first day. It is day one.
Drama, drama, drama.
Luckily, Coley has a brilliant idea to bring everyone together.
Okay, I have an idea to get us all closer. Let's all say one thing we don't like about each other. One thing. And then something we like.
Guys, I know how to get off on the right foot. Let's all insult each other. Don't worry though, she realizes her mistake and corrects herself.
Actually, forget the we like. Just we don't like.
Okay, well, that was the wrong part, but close enough.
That was the most cringy shit ever.
To round out episode 1, they all had to rank each other like they do in the circle, and the results will be revealed in episode 2, which I also watched. So far though, the rankings don't seem to matter much. I mean, I guess it did determine how they got paired up for the next challenge, but the way they did it seemed a little arbitrary, like they were just trying to rig it.
1 is with 8, 3 is with 6.
And then 4 and 2, obviously, I mean, that's just how this works. That's what we were gonna do the whole time. So there's a series of competitions on day 2, starting with the lipstick challenge.
Your goal is to put lipstick on your partner as accurately as possible. The team whose lipstick looks the worst will be eliminated.
So one person has to use their arms without looking, and the other person has to shout instructions to them over all of the other people shouting instructions inches away from each other. Simple enough challenge, except one team cheated.
Larry, because you took your hand out from behind your back and wiped your face, your team is eliminated.
As soon as Raul was done, she turned around and tried to fix it with her finger.
Coley, because you removed your hands from behind your back, and Giovanni, because you were looking at Coley the entire time, your team is eliminated.
And then they got eliminated too, because he was just staring at her face the whole time. The point of the challenge is that you can't see what you're doing, and he just leaned over her shoulder like, oh, this isn't so hard, your lips are right here. And then this team loses because it was a try not to laugh challenge and one of them laughed. So guess what? Sabrina and Jada win. That's right, now they get to talk to Alex. Is that gonna be the prize every time? Not like a special dinner or an immunity idol. They just get to go ask David Dobrik Jr. one question. Side note, I had never heard of Alex before this video, but sometimes I would hear him talk and think, man, he sounds like David.
Do your best.
So I looked him up and was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's not just me, that's like his whole thing. I guess that just makes it even funnier to me that his advice to Raul was, be yourself, when he's formed his entire online identity around another person. Anyway, he seems like a nice enough guy. I'm not here to shit on him. I just don't understand why having a conversation with him is such a coveted prize in this game. Maybe it's just because you get to go into the other room for 5 minutes while everybody else continues to yell at each other.
I'm not gonna give you an apology if I don't mean it.
Abby, you're a bitch, bro.
Time to get back into it with some rankings. I still don't understand what these are for, but maybe it'll make sense eventually.
You already know what I'm going.
No, I do not.
Sabrina.
I did not know that.
Morning, everyone, and welcome to the War Zone.
What? Bro, what?
Wait, we're playing Warzone? Let's fucking go, dude. Well, not exactly. Turns out what they actually mean is they're doing what they call an obstacle course, but what I would just call TikTok dances.
Yeah, throw that stash.
No, I don't think I will be watching the full dances, but thanks for the offer. So Giovanni and Sabrina had the fastest times, but Valeria and Julian...
You guys have the best content.
Can't argue with that. And for the final round, they did a swim race where the winners get to, say it with me, talk to Alex.
He gave us so many tips.
Work together, don't be afraid to be yourself. I see it a lot, especially in this industry where, you know, it's very easy to become someone you're not.
After doing a real quick anti-vaping PSA,
I used to cope with it in a way that I'm not proud of. Like, I used to vape because all my friends would do it.
They revealed the new rankings and everybody's yelling again.
Just because I thought you guys were... I thought you said you're not interested. What is none of you guys? What are you interested?
Why am I watching this?
I hate everyone here and I don't want to be here.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So I'm going to put Jada at the bottom.
Jada.
Okay, they keep ranking people, but no one gets voted out. So what is the point of the ranking? Are you gonna send someone home or not? Jada's practically begging for you to do it for her.
That's it. I'm done. Y'all won't be hearing no more from me. I'm out.
Flannel gang, let's go!
But we're 3 episodes in and no one has been eliminated. I thought that would be part of the game. I guess I don't understand. Wow, really exciting challenge in day 4. They're doing trivia.
What shape is the like button on TikTok?
It won't be nearly as fun to watch as all those popular dances were, but at least this gives me a chance to play along at home.
What girl were Noah Beck and Griffin Johnson beefing over?
Never mind. Honestly, they might as well be speaking gibberish. I have no idea what any of these words mean.
Is Andrew Davila part of the Sway House?
Who left the Hype House to start the Clubhouse?
Finally though, a pretty cool prize. The winning team gets to talk to Alex.
Talking to Alex today again, because you know I won today's challenge, was honestly super motivational.
Thank you, Internet Sherpa, for you have shown me the way. But it was worth it this time not to lose because the losing team received a punishment.
We'll have to spend the afternoon cleaning the house.
And the way they react to it makes it seem like this is the single worst day of their life. Episode 4 ends with some spin the bottle, so now they're screaming and kissing. I gotta say, I'm happy for Raul. He got to kiss the girl he liked, and that's about it as far as good news goes. In episode 5, they play a game where they pop a balloon on someone's head, and then that person has to spin a wheel, and then they talk shit about whoever it lands on.
Julian actually wet his bed. My bed! Literally the bed that we're sharing.
What the hell?
Are you serious? Wait, you peed? Bro, what? You're 21.
As an honorary member of the former bedwetter club, I do feel for the guy. I used to wet the bed when I was a kid, but I never did it while someone else was sharing the bed with me. If I did, I don't think that shame would ever wear off. Okay, but here's the best part of the game. I guess Jada didn't realize she was supposed to pop the balloon, so she fucking chucked that shit right at someone's head. Move over, Raul. I've got a new favorite. For some reason, halfway through, they went inside for a rain delay, as if they weren't already soaking wet. But they never went outside and finished the game. They just skipped right to the rankings, which they all did on their phones. But then these girls were wondering what Owen was up to, so they went outside to Wait, I thought it was raining. Where's the rain, guys? Did they make that up? Anyway, these two lovebirds, who I thought just met like 3 days ago, went on a poolside date where he reveals this.
I might have wrote a song about you.
You wrote a song about me?
Yeah.
Yep. He wrote her a song and recorded the song and produced the song in the house. Well, let's hear it.
Here's the song.
I just wanna be with you.
I just want to be with you forever. She makes me pancakes. This show is the best. Guess what time it is? FaceTime time. Now it's Jada who gets to ask for advice.
If I was to give you my best advice, I'd say is let your guard down a little bit, get to know the people, show them that you're not a threat, because I feel like they may view you as a threat.
That's actually really good advice.
Thank you, House Messiah. Your infinite wisdom shall prove invaluable. We are the same age. Wait a minute, there's a phone number you can text for exclusive next influencer content?
Hello?
Hello? Is this the number for...
Speak up, I can't hear you.
Is this the number for Is this the number...
This is a voicemail. Who talks on the phone anymore? Text me instead.
Asshole. Welcome to Awesomeness TV's Next Influencer Club. Cool. That was worth it. All right, nice simple sponge challenge on day 6. Should be pretty fun, right? Well, not for this group of adult toddlers.
No! Don't cheat! Don't be a cheater!
You're literally blocking her.
Let's go!
You're a
Shut the f up!
And now they're assaulting each other. These people are the physical embodiment of if I just talk louder, that means I'm right.
I came here to warn you. Shut up, Jovan.
Oh my god, this show is so hard to watch.
You guys are so dumb.
You want to know why she's yelling at him? Because she found out the guys have an alliance and she thinks that's cheating. I'm sorry, but I've watched a lot of Survivor and Big Brother in my day. If forming an alliance is cheating, then every contestant who's ever been on those shows should be disqualified.
And you know you're not gonna win, so you need to have someone else help you.
That's how you win, dog.
I would love to lose.
Not that it matters, because the rankings have yet to mean anything. Also, note to the Awesomeness TV producers, just because you have footage of people yelling at each other, doesn't mean you have to put all of it into the show.
Listen the f up!
It's not always entertaining. At a certain point, it's just noise. Really though, this episode was a turning point for me as a fan because this is when they started to go after my boy Raul.
And then Raul, like, he can't even make content with his, like, I don't even know how many followers he has.
Oh, I'm in college. I am a psychology dentist major.
Imagine making fun of someone for wanting to go to med school. But it's not just the kids, even the producers are starting to screw him over. While Raul was inside studying doctor stuff, the host was like, hey, you guys want to see what Raul did? What the fuck? Even his new girlfriend doesn't respect him because she keeps calling him Rail.
Rail?
His name is Raul. And you're disrespecting a future US Army dentist. So because they found out he was lying about his rankings by betraying his trust and going through his phone, he had to apologize to Coley, and the boys knew exactly what to do.
Hey Coley, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. You know that I love you. Let me be your next again.
All right, forget everything I said. I like the show again. Later on day 7, they all do a TikTok duet challenge where they all have to duet Alex's TikTok and he picks the winner. Now we're talking. Here's the video. Oh boy, that'll make for some wacky collabs. I tell you, what a privilege it is for us to witness firsthand the nation's best and brightest in action.
What the am I supposed to do with this box?
It's hard to narrow down my favorite TikTok to just one. I mean, Gabby's was great.
What is going on? Bro, what?
Meanwhile, Owen jumped into the box. And Valeria brought out the special effects.
Okay.
Gonna be hard to choose. Except not really, because Jada was the only one who put in any effort. Surprise! They're all yelling at each other again.
No, he's doing it.
But I'm more interested in the banner that they blurred out in the background. It very clearly says, "Happy Birthday, Ian." Why did they have to blur that out? That's like the least revealing information. All right, so we know this was Ian's birthday. Now all we have to figure out is his last name, what year he was born, what day this was filmed, and who Ian is. And then we'll have all the information we need. In episode 8, they stole a competition directly from Big Brother, where everybody takes turn hiding something, and then everyone else looks for them, and whoever's thing doesn't get found, win. They do that shit on Big Brother every season. I know this because I watch it. This show wants to be Big Brother, Alex wants David Dobrik to be his big brother, and Gabby wants to go home.
I want to leave this house. Like, everyone's really so mean.
I don't blame her. These people are so mean to each other, it's actually insane.
Get your hands off of me, you trashy ass!
All at once, they all started piling on Gabby. They screamed in her face, they trashed her room, and then while she was gone, they poured Sprite into her water bottle, which has got to be the lamest prank I've ever seen in my life. Also, Valeria's just a bully.
Raul is always going on and on and on and on about rankings, alliances, friendships. Like, nobody cares.
That's what everybody talks about. I don't know why I'm getting so upset. I feel like I have 2 brain cells after watching 9 episodes of this. Thank God it's almost over.
So this show ends today, but the friendships you guys are making don't.
No. These people are never going to talk to each other ever again. All right, so now that it's day 10, and these are the final rankings, these ones will finally matter, right? These will determine the winner? No. For 10 straight days, the rankings meant nothing. They still mean nothing because the winner is chosen by Alex.
The winner of the competition and Awesomeness TV's next influencer is Owen Holt. Oh my God!
Raul got robbed. It's probably for the best anyway. The grand prize was a show deal with Awesomeness TV, and I would hate for him to have to drop out of med school just to do that. I was relieved while reading the comments that most people were also hate watching this. I don't think anyone was like, man, this is some quality shit right here. And let me tell you, there have been some excellent comments, but my absolute favorite, the one that perfectly sums up how I feel about the show, is this. This is literally the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. When is season 2? So now we know what it takes to be the next top TikTok influencer. I guess Owen, good luck with your show. I can't wait to check it out. Raul, I'll be sure to hit you up if I ever need a tooth pulled. And Alex, just try not to copy everything David does. Anyway, sorry for introducing you guys to this show. I know your life would have been better off without it. Be sure to smash that subscribe button and comment something nice to me. If you say something mean, I will not go to your birthday party. But I will still buy you a present. Anyway, I will see you all next time for part 12 of my vasectomy vlog. And until then, happy birthday.
That was the most cringy shit ever.